Yes.
All right. What's happening?
Roger,
What's
going
get
on with
off.
the screen? What?
It's been that kind of morning.
God, it's been
hasn't it?
great, but it's
been great. It's been fantastic.
Travis.
Things are really screwed up out there, folks.
This morning is the morning where I wish we really had a pre-show show.
A pre-show
because of the topics that we've been covering this morning. That we've already been deeply. What kind of coffee? What kind of coffee you got going on?
Don't
there,
make me laugh.
What kind of coffee you got going on?
You always try to do that when I'm drinking.
Yeah, I know. What kind of coffee you got going there? What is that?
It's just some black medium roast coffee. Marcus. They look delicious.
Okay.
Folks, thank you for tuning in. It is Friday, 11:04 a.m. Central Standard Time. Welcome to the Defiance
Central
Daily
Daylight
Show.
Time.
Why do you
not standard time yet?
Why do you do that?
Because
I'm gonna throw my hot coffee.
You can't look
all over your face.
You know why that's important? Because there are some states that don't do daylight time, like Arizona.
They don't do that.
Yeah, and so you can really throw people off. For instance, people that are in Arizona, you're going to throw them off now. They're going to think, "Oh, Texas doesn't have a daylight time," but yes, we do, because we still have a retarded governor.
Oh, yes, indeed, Mark.
I'm sorry, did I say that?
You did, man. And
love wheels.
I agree with him. All right, here, folks. Again, you're watching the Defiance Daily Show. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Boom!
Do not forget, in the ways of supporting us through our authors, through our books, and through our merchandise.
That is, are you going to
merchandise? Oh yeah, we're going to share this. So big shout out to Big D on this, but
DM.
Check out defiancepress.com. Go to defiancepress.com. Wow. This is the first time I'm navigating this here in real time. You can see my pops up there. Defiancepress.com. If you are an aspiring author or you have a manuscript and you're curious about getting published, go to defiancepress.com, hit that get published link. Follow the prompts here, watch the video. Very much encourage you read through everything before submitting your manuscript, and we will be in touch with you. It does take a little bit of time to, completely process a manuscript, so your patience ahead of time is greatly appreciated. That's defiancepress.com. If you have any questions, you can reach out at 281-581-9300. That's 281-581-9300. You can also reach out at info@Defiance Press. That's info@Defiance Press. But I always recommend people go straight to the horse's mouth, and that is Mark. Mark
at horse. Right. Well, now why?
Dude, because you carry the load, man.
No,
because you're dependable. That's why. Because
you
know how to handle so much.
You're so
nobody gives you enough credit for all the things that you do. We really appreciate Mark over here. I'm really not kidding around. That's
you're a beautiful man.
581-9300. Get in touch with Mark if you got a manuscript, and he'll walk you through the protocols, people.
We're not only looking for aspiring authors, we're also looking for inspiring.
That is correct. Yeah,
I would like some inspiring authors.
Okay, Mark, that was really good. That gave me chills.
Did it really? Send a chill down your spine?
You just give me chills.
Don't worry, folks. We have not. I guess Travis and I, we were so inspired by the love text between. Anyway.
Oh man, I'm not the text between Charlie Kirk Shooter and his furry boyfriend.
What were we gonna say?
I said it. It's just romance is in the air, folks. I can't wait to read the love. Oh God, it's hard to even joke about.
Well,
I'm still, guys. I am still screwed up from last week.
I am so angry.
I'm screwed up from it because not only. I guess we're just going to get right into it. You know what we're covering today. It's going to be we're going to be covering everything related to the Charlie Kirk and his assassination and everything along those lines. But let me tell you something. There has been so much material dumped out there on Twitter to the point where I have to go and look at it because I got to, people are claiming, oh, it's possible he shot from beside. The one shot from behind, there is one video that I kind of look at and I'm curious, but a lot of this can be cleared up with what? What can clear this up, Mark?
I don't know. What can clear it up?
An autopsy report.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Who believes the autopsy report?
Well, What I'm going to be curious about, because we'll cover this a little bit, is Charlie Kirk's wife, and apparently someone calling her and asking, "What all do you know?" And she goes, apparently her response was everything. I don't know what that means, but the entry wound, the exit wound, I know we're all that will clear a lot. But let me tell you something though. I will say for sure, and that's the other part that screwed me up, is rewatching those videos. It's not healthy. I know it's not. But when people are out there and you're really trying to look, unfortunately, that's a place we're in, because you can't trust the narrative from the government on anything. So automatically you're going to question things up. They're paving the area where
Yeah,
he
what
got
is? Okay,
shot.
hang on.
There's
Stop,
some weird stuff going on,
Travis.
folks.
Stop right there.
Okay.
That is a huge. Why?
Why
Do
would
you
you?
remember- okay,
Why
after-
are you cleaning up a crime
After
scene?
the Butler assassination attempt, they had people on the roof scrubbing the blood.
Yes.
I mean,
Now you got
and
people.
now they're removing the ground, Travis.
It's still an active crime
It's an
scene.
active crime scene.
But I guess they closed it out now, and there's a lot of myths we'll bust. But let me tell you something. There's a lot of bullshit out there about some dude with a phone gun and then someone from the side. Yeah, some of the video looks suspicious, but folks,
I'm so angry.
I want to. Part of what I got it, I want to cover it if I feel like there's some credibility to it. But let me tell you something, folks. There's a lot of it. It's meant to mix the bag up.
Do you
and
think that that's
scramble your
part of the,
brains.
that's part of the psyop?
Absolutely.
Isn't it?
This
It's part of the psyop.
now listen.
Like you.
I know after a lot of these shootings, the famous one about Sandy Hook is, they had the contractors in there that had to sign NDAs, and then they paved and demolished and did all kinds of things there, which, that's weird. It's weird. Apparently it's a common thing. They did it after Columbine too. I'd have to really dig into the weeds here, because it's been a minute on that. But anyway, yeah, we'll cover that today. But folks, I got sidetracked. That's defiancepress.com. Supporting defiancepress.com, supporting our authors, in turn supports the broadcast here, the team here at Defiance Press. Be sure to check out defiancepress.com. We got a new slick look out there. We're really excited about the new things. We also have some announcements upcoming. So stay tuned for us there. We are expanding our catalog tremendously. So you're going to see some new imprints and some old publications that are going to be put out there for public consumption. We're really excited about this. So stay tuned for more. Once we're ready to load that up, we'll go ahead and announce that. But really excited about that. That's defiancepress.com. Also, got to make sure we plug our sponsors here. Go over to J. Bradley Pools. If you are in the market for a pool and you're in the Texas area, call for that free estimate over at J. Bradley Custom Pools. That's 832-813-5340. That's 832-813-5340. They do some extremely good work here. I mean, just check out their website, go look through the different projects they've conducted, and you will definitely walk away impressed.
It's where water meets art.
Where water meets art. J. Bradley Custom Pools. Again, that's 832. Hang on, sorry. 832. Where's the damn number, Mark?
Where'd you go? Where did you go?
832-813-5340. That's 832-813-5340. So let me see here. Yeah, really appreciate everybody tuning in.
Didn't we have a new sponsor, Libby's? Didn't they
no,
finally come on board with
Libby's won't pay me. So
why won't they pay you?
they're
You're the
out.
only person left eating Vienna sausages. Why won't they pay you? Do they
Because
not?
apparently I'm enough on its own for basically the bulk of their sales. So
you keep their Vienna sausage.
I was up here last night eating
some of those Vienna sausages.
Eating that wine. Yeah, man.
Yeah. It's so mad. That is just so nasty.
One day we'll get Mark to eat it.
No, Mark ain't eating.
He will.
No. What are you drinking there, Travis? What do you got?
I got some black coffee. You keep trying to make me laugh while I'm drinking. I know what you're trying to do.
No,
You're such a shit.
Show him you got a glass.
It's just a glass mug of Joe.
It's a glass mug. Looks very nice.
Hey! You got people chiming in on the Libby's, bro.
What are you talking about?
People saying gross.
Because it is gross.
It's not gross.
It is.
It's
disgusting.
delicious.
No, it's disgusting. And I think Libby's is coming on as a sponsor. I know some stuff Roger told me about a phone call yesterday that I have not told you about.
I don't appreciate this, man.
Okay, look.
You want me to go get a can right now?
No, I've got some Grasleys if you want me to go grab that.
I made a candle for Mark. So what I did was I put a wick in an open can of Vienna sausage, and I put it out in the sun, and I just let it harden. And the broth in there really hardens too, and it makes like a natural
Congeals.
wax.
It congeals.
So I got a candle for your office.
Did you really? A Vienna sausage candle?
A wiener candle.
A wiener candle.
Mhm. And you will enjoy it. You will love it, Marcus. Talking shit about Libby's. This is out of control. Out of control around here. I should just shut down the broadcast right now. I should shut it down right now.
I think we need to bring them on as
But
a
I won't.
sponsor. They're showing interest, Travis. They are showing interest.
Yeah, well, I would love to pitch Libby's to the rest of the audience.
But they want you to wear a wiener shirt. A shirt with a big wiener on it.
Stop.
It says, I eat wieners.
Okay, dude.
And they said, if you do that, they would sponsor the show, and it would be a very lucrative contract.
Would it be very lucrative, you think?
Yeah, well, that's what they're saying. They're talking big numbers here.
Okay, big numbers.
Yeah.
Big old numbers.
Big numbers.
Folks, thank you for tuning into the Defiance Daily Show. This broadcast is brought to you by Libby's. They don't pay us, but I eat them. So enjoy. Enjoy your Libby's. Put some mustard on it. Put it on a cracker.
Oh, God.
What?
Oh, just so nasty.
You're such a prude.
Oh, God, it's just so nasty.
Oh, Mark, the prudy tootie.
Woo!
Anyway, folks, I know everybody's dying to get to some of the news, and obviously there's a lot to cover, folks, but I'm still in shock over last week, to say the least. The positioning, the people trying to claim his message. You got the leading police officer of the nation in Pam Bondi talking about hate speech in Charlie Kirk's name. God help us all.
Okay, who called Pam Bondi, Travis? I'm going to get
we called it.
No, don't say we. I mean, I agreed with you.
Mm.
But you were very early.
I told y'all early on she's a problem. Told y'all early on. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through the official narrative at this point in time. I spent a lot of time last night trying to figure out how can I relay what's happened up to this point without getting too much into the weeds, because we do need to get into the weeds a little bit. And it's getting weird, folks. There's some weird, and I know Candace Owens is making the rounds in the news, and look, you can't ignore everything she's saying, that's for sure. Definitely weird posturing by the state of Israel and Bibi Netanyahu getting up there, and there's clearly some back and forth on there. But
what are you saying, Travis? Are you saying that Bibi Netanyahu had Charlie Kirk?
I think no, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, I want to clarify, because I've been accused of that.
Well,
too,
that's
like,
as soon as we get to this route, that's where everybody
people go,
thinks
"Oh,
it's
you're
going.
thinking Mossad killed,"
But
and I'm like, "No,
he definitely lied. Bibi Netanyahu
He
definitely
did lie.
lied about
He
this
did lie.
cozy relationship, because Charlie was, in fact, on the fritz with what was happening there. There was donors that were messing around with what guests he could invite, and yeah, a guy like Charlie ain't gonna like that. I know, I wouldn't like that.
Charlie was not kosher with the conversations going on with.
No, he was not. He was not. So there's definitely some elements of truth to it. Do I think they're involved? No. Do I think there's some weird things happening and we're not getting the full story? Absolutely.
God,
Absolutely. Now, we'll also cover the left's the mental gymnastics from the left. Here's kind of what I've formulated as an opinion over the course of the week. You're not going to convince people on the left that he was a lefty. I mean, he has a furry boyfriend, transgender, the bullet. It doesn't matter with the evidence. There's no point in convincing these people. They're gone. They got their minds made up. Charlie deserves this. He was a Nazi, blah, blah, blah. The same rhetoric over. It's time to bypass these people. They're just in the way. They're going to be they are already radicalized as a whole party, and we're seeing it. All these people aren't getting fired. Oh, the cancel culture and all this stuff. I run 4 different companies. If anybody in my staff was celebrating a death like that, oh, you better believe they would be out of here, man. You don't get to this is yeah, freedom of speech when it comes to employment and you're running your business, you got free reign. All
Oh,
right. You got
absolutely.
free reign to do this shit. And that was the other thing with Pam Bondi coming out about, hate speech on this camp. We're all talking about Charlie Kirk's death and the focus is the anti-Semitism on give me a break, guys. Give me a break. So we're gonna lean left because of the anti-Semitism.
Yeah. Mhm.
It don't fit. It don't fit, folks. So
Something's off.
it's absolutely ridiculous what's happening here, and a lot of this stuff being done in his name. It's just ridiculous. But again, Jimmy Kimmel getting fired, and we'll go through that too because everybody on the left is screaming about the FCC getting involved, and you got Obama chiming in. So we'll go through what we know as of today with what really happened with Jimmy Kimmel, because one of the big parts of it was his internally, apparently, he was getting ready to double down on his next show,
Yeah.
and that was it. They just weren't going to do it. It was enough. Now, the timing with the FCC chairman on the Benny Johnson podcast, yeah, I mean, it's not a good look, but why are we sitting here debating the nuances of the overreach of government with the left? That's what I want to know. This whole party, and when they're in power, of what they were doing to 501c3s. For the longest time, conservatives were being targeted, IRS status, taxes. I had to watch my dad for over a decade. Every time we went to an airport, get siphoned off to a little special piece of glass right there in the airport and get an extracurricular pat down, almost sexual in nature, because my dad was very, very vocal and he obviously was on some list. I'll never forget when his luggage got taken and I was at home. This was 2009, and yeah, his luggage, someone, the airport claimed his luggage. Nobody told him this.
Was
They
this when he was
they
overseas?
initially
Wasn't he over?
No, we
Oh,
just
this
went
was
to
here.
we just went to fly to California.
Oh, okay. I'm
So
thinking of something else.
he goes and he's told that they misplaced the luggage. So the whole time the airport is telling him the luggage was, well, anyway, I'm sitting at home and some white, looks like a unmarked police car comes up and drops this suit wearing dude comes up and drops the luggage on the doorstep. I said, "Dad, your luggage is here." He's like, "What are you? Go open it right now." Go and open it, and they have like the DHS flyers on there, and basically it's like he's like, "Man, I'm targeted." This went on for years. Okay, so the left, that whole time this was happening to people on the right, it was a conspiracy theory. It was made up. So I just don't. Why argue with people that they're too stupid to see beyond their own lens? They're too they're gone. I mean, you can show them evidence in the face. If they're not going to believe it, then why are we bothering arguing with that side? It's time. This is a. It's more than just doing something. It's time to take this shit to the next level, and that's what needs to be done. We'll be covering that too. So what does that look like? Yeah, we'll get into some of that, but watching people get fired over celebrating like a brutal murder like this. Yeah, I wouldn't want you on my staff either. If it was somebody that I didn't even agree with, wasn't even Charlie Kirk. Yeah, same thing. I don't care. You don't want nasty people around you that are that deranged. So I've got no sympathy, especially for the people that were celebrating people getting losing their jobs over COVID, losing their jobs over not bending the knee to Black Lives Matter. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember the
Yes.
transphobe? You remember people losing access to their there was merchants were disabling the payment methods. I mean, there was
banks.
so much stuff. The banks were part of this.
Debanking
And it's like
people.
we're supposed to just now it's like, oh, the conservatives aren't playing by the rules that we've established for them. Welcome to consequence culture. Okay. So I do not, I have no fucking sympathy for any of these people. You know, you lose your job, you do it. Well,
Why are you so mean spirited, man?
I don't know, man.
You need
Maybe,
you need
maybe,
you need
maybe because I
Jesus.
just saw some dude get blown in the neck.
You need Jesus, man. You know, you're just being why so angry, Travis? Why
So serious?
why are you being so mean?
You know, I don't know. I should be nicer.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
Shut the
Okay?
kidding me right now.
No, I'm getting that message from people.
Oh yeah, the kumbaya.
Yeah,
We need the kumbaya.
Yeah. You
No,
Mark,
I
Mark,
know.
you-
I'm a fan of just you could just run roughshod over these people. I do not give a shit anymore. I just really don't, and I don't think the people in power should either. It's a problem out there, folks. Okay, it's a problem
the
out there.
chickens are coming home to roost.
Chickens are coming home to roost.
And
So let's want to get into it?
man,
Shall we open this up now?
I can't wait to see what you've got in store here.
All right, folks, you're watching the Defiance Daily Show. We're going to get into the details here, folks. I kind of want to. Should we do like an official? Ooh, should I make it official like that? Ooh, look at that. That looks pretty sweet. Like that.
Wow.
Okay, here we go. All right, folks, let's get into the details on what we know of Tyler Robinson, the assassination, and where all the information stands as of, well, I'll say as of 2 a.m. last night, because I didn't do any, I didn't check any news.
2 o'clock you mean in the morning? Not last night, but 2 o'clock this morning.
Yes, Mark. You're such a shit, dude.
You said 2 o'clock last night, but it's not last night. It's 2 o'clock this morning.
Okay, thank you. Would you like some coffee?
But is that not true?
Yes, it's true. All right.
I'm
Yeah.
just-
All right.
Words mean things.
Words, you're such a shit, dude. You're such a shit with this. But thanks, Mark is a shit. He's gonna join me.
I just don't want people to be. I just don't want people to be confused.
Well, you know, I kind of want to go along. Actually, I wanted to. Let me see where this is. There's a perfect microcosm, local example. And this is a gal that has a business. I knew about her in I think it was elementary school. Becca, if you're watching, I'm about to cover what just happened to you because this is a microcosm of exactly what I'm talking about. So, all right, let me I'm kind of doing this on the fly. All right. I'm going to do this on the fly. She runs a and forgive me, Becca, because we'll cover this in more detail here, but she runs a cleaning service, right? And she gets an inquiry from, and I don't know if I want to show the name. I don't care, whatever. She gets a message, right? It says, "Hello there. I'm a teacher in Conroe ISD, but I live south of 45 off Rankin Road. Do you service this area? I don't want to roll off my laundry list until I know you do. Thanks. Fingers crossed. I've gotten 2 quotes way out of my educator price range." So anyway, the business responds, gives her some feedback for the quote, and this is the response: "You don't service Black working class neighborhoods."
Dude, okay, whoa. Now what now?
This is folks, okay. I'm covering this for a reason.
Oh,
This is a perfect example of the kind of shit that I'm talking about. This automatic jumping to conclude. She went from like the top of the stairs to the front door in one step, basically. So she doesn't service that area. What's the feedback? What's the reaction? You don't service Black working class neighborhoods.
you racist.
That guy didn't know you're so racist. That's
She's,
definitely.
I don't know Becca, but obviously she's racist.
You don't service. So hear me out, folks. If you if you run a business, a small business, and you don't service certain areas that are predominantly black, guess what?
You
You are
racist.
now a Nazi. You are now a white
You
supremacist.
must
You are
die.
now a racist.
You must die.
That is absolutely insane. And that's a microcosm of the mentality that people are talking about when I'm saying to bypass this. So I see that Becca, she did make a video. That one's 10 minutes long. I haven't watched it yet, but yeah, I do want to cover. And Becca, if you ever do watch his show, why don't you be a sponsor? You know, why don't we we'll go ahead and plug your services out there. So if you ever get around to seeing this, I'll reach out and get Mark reach out. We can see how we can work something out because that is ridiculous. And the reason I bring it up too is she did go. That lady goes to the Better Business Bureau and just starts flagging her down
Oh
because she
no.
want. And this, folks, that is the left in a nutshell. That's it. You can't escape their hate and vitriol for not only the country but for
Man.
anybody not of this. Is that was that not perfect right there?
Uh,
You don't service my area. You're a racist because you don't service black working class neighborhoods.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either. It's like, it's like, let's say you're a realtor, right? And you have this area. That'd be like a realtor or someone reaching
Oh,
out. Hey,
a
I'm
black
on south
person.
side of Houston. I know you're in New Waverly, but I need you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't service that area. You racist
Racist.
cracker.
Or how about if you're a real estate agent and a black person looking for a home says, "I'm looking for a black working class neighborhood." Do they have a special map that has those circled?
I have to point that out because I
Dude,
saw that on my feed and I
could
thought
you
there's no
imagine?
way
Could you
that is
imagine?
the disposition of the left in a nutshell. And God, we could go on and on about
Dude,
people's mentality and what are people going to do when every quote the left is citing realize, and there is some, Scott Adams talked about this a little bit, that obviously Charlie Kirk's being taken way out of
oh,
context. Like when people hear him talk about the Civil Rights Act and how it was bad for black, automatically it's like, oh, it's because he's racist.
He's a
No
racist.
nuance. They just show the clip of him saying it. They run with that. There's been a bunch of clips I've seen online just taking one little piece of what he said when he's doing hypothetical scenarios and making it sound like that's what he believes. So
Which by the way, is
they're
true
just
because I mean,
here's the bottom line. They're lying to y'all
yes.
about it. People that don't know who Charlie, when you're seeing something, you're like, man, that looks kind of bad. Being lied to. So anytime that you're seeing quotes or specific instances that they're talking about, go and watch. If you really are caring, if you really do care, if you really are genuinely interested, if you're just reacting to shit that people are plastering out there, then you're just a fucking idiot. Okay, you're like a sideline voting type of. I'm halfway in, halfway out, but I got an opinion on this stuff. Can't help you there. But if you're really curious, you're going to go and look up the whole video because you have to these days. You have to absolutely look at the whole thing.
Context, context, context.
So that doesn't even that. I mean, it's just context is key, and highly encourage people to watch his videos because Charlie was a very impressive man. Very, very impressive.
What are you drinking?
You already know what I'm drinking.
What are you drinking?
Got a little whiskey in there. Whiskey in the morning. All right, let's break it down, folks. Here's a complete breakdown of the Tyler Robinson case of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Tyler James Robinson, 22, stands accused of aggravated murder of activist Charlie Kirk on September 10, 2025 at Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty and have presented extensive evidence, including DNA, text message confessions, and detailed timeline reconstructions. So let's go through it. I'm going to start with the and folks, I'm trying to focus here on the official narrative from the authority figures. The authority. I hate even calling them that. God,
Isn't it amazing how they programmed us to call
dude,
them
that's like,
authority
man,
figures? They're civil servants.
from the
They're
servant. Yeah, yeah.
They're civil
Well, I'll
servants. They're
say
not
from
our
the
authorities.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
not our authorities.
So, formal charges that were filed. Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray filed 7 formal charges against Robinson on September 16th, 2025. So, here's the charges: aggravated murder, capital offense eligible for the death penalty; felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury; 2 counts of obstruction of justice for disposing of evidence; 2 counts of witness tampering for instructing his roommate to delete messages and not speak to police; commission of a violent offense in the presence of a child. Yes, that's right, folks. For those that forgot, they were a child in the audience, including Charlie's kids. Robinson is being held without bail and appeared virtually for his initial court appearance. Let me see if I can find the. Let's get. And I don't want to show him. I don't want to show him. So here's the physical evidence in DNA. Mark, you interrupt me at any time you got questions because you're gonna have a lot.
I'm gonna have lots of questions.
I think we all are, right? Robinson is being held without bail. So here's the physical evidence in DNA that the prosecution has compiled. So the DNA evidence is Robinson's DNA was found on the rifle trigger, on the fired cartridge casing, 2 unfired cartridges, DNA on the towel that wrapped the rifle, DNA on a screwdriver found on the rooftop shooting position. Okay, I'll go through that again. DNA found on the rifle trigger, DNA fired on the on the fired cartridge casing, 2 unfired cartridges, and the towel wrapped in the rifle and the screwdriver up there on the roof. Okay. The physical evidence, there's palm prints at the edges. So this is some stuff that I didn't know until last night. There's palm prints at the edge of the roof where the shooter dropped down. The footwear impression showing Converse sneakers, forearm imprints from the prone shooting position, bolt action rifle with scope found wrapped in a towel in a wooded area near campus, and the ballistic evidence, the rifle contained cartridges with unusual etchings that Robinson allegedly described as memes. That's right. When I get to the text message, well, we'll just wait. But the shooter described them as memes.
Hmm.
First cartridge fired. No, Tyson's bulge. Ow, what's this? Which apparently is a furry, gay meme reference. Second cartridge, hey, fascist catch with arrow symbols. Third cartridge, oh, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow. Fourth cartridge, if you read this, you are gay, LMAO. The complete text message exchanges. All right, let me see.
Hang on, Travis. First of all, the DNA on everything. It almost sounds like a Diddy party.
I mean,
I think there's ways to detect DNA today that are really, really good, and they can pick up DNA from things that they couldn't pick up DNA from 2 or 3 years ago. I think there's DNA detection today that's pretty incredible, but it just seems like he's got DNA on everything. I mean, it's like a Holiday Inn bedspread.
it's like there's semen everywhere.
We've got DNA everywhere.
It's all over the place. So, and let me get to the text messages. So the most damaging evidence comes from the text messages between Robinson and his roommate / romantic partner, Lance Twiggs, a man who's become transitioning to a transgender woman. Here are the exact text exchanges. Let's bring them up on the screen, shall we? You ready for this, Mark? Have you read these yet?
I have read them and I've heard some narratives on this, and I'm just having a very difficult time with it.
Okay, here we go on the screen. After reading the note, the roommate, and I'll explain that. I'll give some nuance to this because apparently, wait, where is? Hang on, folks. Let me get a little detail here because it didn't show that on the top. I didn't see that on the top of the text messages, but
Yeah, what is that?
So before that top message, I guess it's cut off here. It says, so Tyler Robinson sent a text to his furry lover and said, drop what you're doing, look under my keyboard, and then we get into this. After reading the note, the roommate responded, what? You're joking, right? Robinson, I am still okay, my love, but am stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. What is he, a medieval knight?
This is not.
Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I got to grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret until I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you. The roommate responded, you weren't the one who did it, right? Robinson, I am. I'm sorry. Roommate, I thought they caught the person. Robinson, no, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering. There's one vehicle lingering. Okay. Roommate, why? Robinson, why did I do it? Roommate, yeah. Robinson responded, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it. Roommate, how long have you been planning this? Robinson, a bit over a week, I believe. Listen, guys, come on.
No.
A bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there is a squad car parked right by it.
It just sounds ridiculous. Can I read the last text I've sent? This is how texts really work. This is the last text I sent to Travis. Ready?
Oh, God.
Hey,
Be
Travis.
careful, man. Oh, Lord.
Hey, bro, have you ever had a Kraken sack done? That's the last. Okay, that's how. Now, for those of you who don't know what a Kraken sack,
And we're mature adults.
Yeah, that's if you want to go as a guy and want to get a Brazilian done, they call that a Kraken sack. So that's how normal people text. I don't know this drawn out, almost Shakespearean style.
All right, it gets better.
Okay,
It gets better.
All right.
How long have you been planning to do this? A bit over a week, I believe.
It just sounds.
Guys.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, can I ask you a
question?
question?
A bit over a week, I believe. You've been planning an assassinate a bit over a week, I believe.
This sounds like a Brady Bunch script.
This sounds like a show. It's like a sitcom. It's like a really corny.
It sounds like the script for a sitcom, a 1970s.
CSI.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
okay,
let's
so let me ask you a question.
No, hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
You ready? Listen to this. I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle. Okay, hang on. Let me start that over. Anyway, how long have you been planning this? Robinson responded, a bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there is a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it. Is he a cop? Who says squad car? And who says I think they already swept that spot? Odd. This is super odd.
So you're not buying.
By the way,
so you're not buying this.
Well, let's just. Okay. I'm just pointing out that it's weird. Like, is there a bunch of messages missing? Because it kind of does look like that too. But anyway, let me read on. And Robinson, I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got out of my vehicle. I'm worried what my old man would do if I didn't bring back Grandpa's rifle. I don't know if it had a serial number, but it wouldn't trace to me. I worry about Prince. I had to leave it in a bush where I changed outfits. Didn't have the ability or time to bring it with. I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find Prince. How the fuck will I explain losing it to my old man? Only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. Remember how I was engraving bullets? The fucking messages are mostly a big meme. If I see notices bulge UWU on Fox News, I might have a stroke. All right, I'm going to have to leave it. That really fucking sucks. Okay, hang on. I'm going to point out something real obvious right off the bat. Remember how I was engraving bullets? Remember how I'm So, how long have you been planning this, but you saw him engraving bullets? Did you do it? Did you do it? How long have you been planning this? And then out of nowhere, Robinson's like, "You remember how I was sitting there engraving bullets? Who just randomly engraves bullets? This is so weird. And why does it happen to just neatly fit? Like you've got a not only a confession in here, you've got explanations to why certain evidence was left behind, right? And I don't know if it had a serial nu so this 17-year-old who had an engineering scholarship that blew out his SATs, just very bright kid apparently, doesn't even know that his a gun can be traced back through a serial number? He didn't even know if there's a serial number on it?
Can can another something
Here
else
we go.
that's obvious
What do you
here?
got, man? Talk to
I'm
me.
just gonna no, I don't have anything. I
Talk
just
to
want to
me.
ask questions.
Okay, what do you got?
Have you ever been in a high stress situation? Maybe you just almost got in a wreck or something. And you want to text your wife real quick, honey. You're not going to believe this. Almost when you're in high stress, think of what this man just did and what he's in the process of doing now, escape and evading. He seems like he's writing novel. I wish we could find authors that were so proficient at writing. I mean, it doesn't. I don't know how
I
long does it
just
take to write.
but
The man
here's
just killed somebody.
well, here's another question too. So we get these text messages and this guy, like, where's his social media footprint? Why do these shooters never have a footprint?
And they obviously want attention. Why was he engraving bullets?
He's sitting there engraving bullets.
He
The
just
the
shot.
the furry roommate boyfriend didn't know.
Could you explain furry real? I meant to ask you this early. Would you mind? We've got a little bit of time.
Oh God.
No, now listen, there's a lot of people my age, okay? Hopefully that are listening. I look at the demographics on our analytics. There are people my age. What's a furry, Travis?
Okay, here we go. Oh,
Oh,
God.
you're gonna have to look it up. I thought maybe you could just
Okay, folks. Yeah, you wanna hear the
yeah, what's a furry?
let's go deep into the mind of leftist quackery. A furry is a person who enjoys or has interest in anthropomorphic animals, which are
Okay.
animals with human characteristics such as talking or walking upright. So basically, members of the furry fandom often create a personalized animal character called a fursona
No, that
and
are
may
you kidding?
attend conventions or meetups. I have a video on this.
I think we should dive in.
Some furries also create or purchase elaborate costumes of their fursonas, known as fursuits. Yes,
Okay.
this is a
Okay.
real
All
thing.
right. Now hang. Okay. Can you show some pictures here, Travis? Because there could be a segment of the audience today that is not taking you serious. They think that this is a gag. That you and I are playing a gag right now, but this is not true.
No, that's not a play.
That's not a.
Okay.
That's not
That's oh,
Broadway.
I
That's
guess
not
Netflix
cats
has a document. It's basically people dressing up in animal costumes and having sex in them. That's really what it is.
having sex in the
It's
costumes, or
just
having
yes.
sex while having the costume on.
Some of them take it really far and they go about their day-to-day lives pretending to actually be the animal that they are.
Would that mean actually using like a litter box?
A litter box and actually shitting in the grass outside in their backyard or their front yard, depends on how proud they are. So, yes, folks, this is I hate to break it to you folks, but no, it doesn't just stop with the transgender stuff. People are morphing into animals and having sex with each other on it. Apparently, that was a big part of Tyler Robinson's search history on the internet. A lot of furry porn. So,
Is this a prevalent? I mean, how many people are involved in this, Travis? Is there any statistics
let's
on
see.
what percentage of our population is involved in this in some shape, manner, or form? What are we up against here?
Let's see.
How large of a mass grave do we
Let's
need to dig?
there were an estimated 756 vessels in the US.
What
Oh,
now?
ferry fleet. What is this? I don't know. I'd have to you put me on the spot there. I don't have time to figure out how many furries there are, but my guess is probably the equivalent to the LGBTQ RSTUV
You
WXYZ.
think there's more than 1,000?
Mhm.
A
Oh,
lot.
for sure. See what I did there? For sure.
For sure.
Yeah,
So you think there's more than 1,000 of these creatures running around the United States? They're living amongst us.
absolutely. And apparently
10,000?
it's going to be a lot. So let's go back through these texts
Okay,
real
I'm
quick.
sorry. I just
No, you're
want
good. You're good. Yeah. So for those folks that don't know, yes, there's a new sexual orientation called furries, and Tyler Robinson was he was into it. His roommate was one.
Does that make him a bestiality? Is this a
It's like it's borderlining on that kind of stuff, but yeah, it's very there's some wacky stuff out there, folks, and I'm not making this up. Anyway, um, so let's recap. Initial discovery messages. Drop what you're doing. Look under my keyboard. The roommate says, "What? You're joking, right?" Robinson's confession. I am still okay, my love, but I'm stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. I feel like I need to play like medieval times music. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I'm sorry to involve you.
When's the last time you've
You're
written, to be
texting.
honest, in a text?
You're writing out a confession on text.
Yes, that. When's the last time you
That
wrote
is
a,
super
to be
convenient, right? That's pretty convenient, is it not?
honest? There's something really off with this. There's something very
Robin, yeah, and this is what they're using as the confession. You weren't the one who did it, right? I am. I'm sorry. I thought they caught the person. No, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I'd planned to grab my rifle from my drop point.
He uses.
I planned to grab my rifle from my drop point. Because college kids, this is how they talk.
That's how they talk.
They got drop points, and they want to make sure an area is not swept. And watch out for squad cars. Yeah, let me read that again. No, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I'd planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out. And then the motive statement, roommate asked why. Why did I do it? I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. Okay. All in one text, you get a confession, you get discovery, and you get a motive statement and planning details. Robinson, I'm going to try to grab it unseen. Hopefully, they will have no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully, they haven't moved it. I haven't seen them finding it. This is actually probably the great that image I just showed. I don't think that was all of it. I haven't seen them finding it. Roommate, how long have you been planning this? A bit over a week, I believe. Only way I can get to it is if there's a car parked by it. I think they swept that area, but I don't want to risk it. I think they swept that area, but I don't want to risk it. Concerns about the evidence. I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle. I'm worried what my old man would do if I didn't bring back my grandpa's rifle. Even if it has a serial number, they shouldn't be able to trace it to me. I do worry about the prints. I had to leave it in a bush and changed outfits. Because when guys talk about changing, they say changed outfits.
Yeah, that's what I always say. Hey,
When
Travis, can I? What outfit should I wear tonight to the?
I don't know, but I think you need to change your current outfit, my love. I believe. I think you've got better clothes in there yet, my love. So, concerns about the evidence, conveniently all in one text. I do worry about the prints. I had to leave it in a bush and changed outfits. Didn't have the ability to bring it with me. Why? I'm sorry to involve you. By the way, I'm going to make you an accomplice and start talking about all my concerns about the evidence. Robinson, I have to get back and they won't find prints. How the fuck am I going to explain? Okay, this is an interesting one. This is the rest of the instructions to delete evidence. Robinson said, delete this conversation. So this is all like in one string. Isn't this a weird string of text where he's just mainly talking to himself now? Listen to this part. Robinson, delete this conversation. My dad wants pictures of the rifle. My dad says grandpa wants to know what the hell happened. The FBI has released a photo of the rifle and it looks very unique. He's calling me right now and I'm not answering. Don't you think it's interesting that his dad wanted why would the dad want pictures of the rifle, you think? Isn't that a little off? Did dad think that something was off about this too? That's why he wanted to see what are they showing as the rifle that was shot? Is it really grandpa's gun? So apparently, when the dad turned the son in, we'll get into this a little bit, but that's what we'll flesh that out a little bit. But apparently, it wasn't like we were all told. The dad wanted Tyler to turn himself in because he was terrified he was going to get shot once he was found. And the shooter was adamant. We'll get into this, but anyway, let's focus on the text here. Sorry to sidetrack there. My dad wants pictures of the rifle. My dad says my grandpa wants to know what the hell happened. The FBI has released a photo of the rifle and it looks very unique. That is a weird text right there. The FBI has released a photo of the rifle and it looks very unique. He's calling me right now and I'm not answering. Political statement. This is since Trump got into office, my family has pretty much died MAGA. So if they were lovers, wouldn't the lover already know about the family? Why is he? That's odd. Isn't that a little odd? And supposedly the oh god, and just it seems very
seems choreographed and
it seems very scripted.
Directed. It seems
very scripted
and directed. It's like somebody's directing this.
And listen to this. Robinson says, I'm going to turn myself in willingly. I'm going to turn myself in willingly. This is a college kid. I'm going to turn myself in willingly. One of my neighbors here is a deputy sheriff. Robinson said, you are all I worry about, my love. Don't talk to the media, please. Don't make jokes or make comments. If any police ask you questions, ask for a lawyer and stay silent. The handwritten note, Robinson left a handwritten note under the keyboard that read, I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and I'm going to take it. Police recovered a photograph of the note. Here's the timeline of events, folks.
Why was he running and hiding?
And why write a note if you're just going to text your whole detail?
Why are you?
Now, we'll get into some of the speculation. Let me get through it here. Okay, this is already weird, guys.
This is so awkward.
This is already. Hey, someone said check your phone. Yeah, this is already off to a weird start. Okay,
I can't read it because I don't have my glasses, but I got.
Let me see. Then they put it back in after they posted about it now. Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, so apparently that text message exchange, somebody prompted it into AI. And I'm not sure what's being said there, but basically now when you run it through AI, it's saying it's human made now. So regardless, I don't even think any of that matters. Just read it. It's weird. It's just you don't have to put it in AI to know like something ain't smelling correct on that one. Here's the timeline. This is really interesting, by the way. Okay, so here's the timeline according to the authorities. Authority. September 10th. So this is the day of the shooting. 8:29 a.m. Robinson arrives on campus in a gray Dodge Challenger. 11:50 a.m. Reappears on video moving through the grassy area to the parking lot. 11:53 a.m. Stops at stairs, pulls out phone, enters pedestrian tunnel. 12:02 p.m. Seen walking on the north side of the Lawsey Center. 12:15 enters Lawsey Center from the southeast side. 12:22 on roof in prone position facing Kirk's speaking location. 12:23 p.m. Single shot fired, striking Kirk in the neck from 142 yards. So it's no longer 200 yards,
That's
142
a
yards.
huge difference.
That's a huge difference, folks. So now it's
Huge.
142 yards. It's not 200 anymore.
That's a 35%, 40% difference.
Yeah. 12:24 p.m. So a minute. Video shows Robinson running across the roof and dropping to the ground. Now, I think I'm going to save it for next week's show, but there's a lot of videos. And the one I saw, he didn't have a gun when he was jumping off the roof. And then there was another one that showed him like chunking it off first.
Right.
So we got it. To me, it's like, are those two different videos? It's a little weird. It's just a little weird, but it could just be me. There's so much information out there. I just really, I had to stop with the videos on this stuff, but something I do need to look at. Now I'll cover that for the next show. Okay, so here's the family background and information because this is what both parents are registered Republicans. So this is why the left was saying he's one of yours. Mother told investigators Robinson became pro-gay and trans rights orientated over the past year. That was about the length of the relationship with this furry fellow, by the way. Mother said Robinson accused Kirk of spreading hate. Robinson's father reportedly supports the MAGA movement. Robinson himself is not affiliated with any political party in Utah, apparently. Roommate Lance Twig, which, by the way, that's the official, but let me tell you, because that was from NPR.
Oh, God. NPR. You got to say NPR.
That was from NPR.
That was from NPR.
So there's a clear and cut, up-to-date picture. The one on the left was all spreading around was him just in regular clothing, just looking like a regular kid. And then there's one of him in a protest with the gay pride flags and the tranny flags right there on the front of him.
The tranny flags?
The tranny flags, that's what I'll call them.
Oh, my God, man. We're so
his roommate, Lance Twiggs, 22 years old, transgender.
Is that really his name? Lance
Twiggs. Previously kicked out of family home due to substance abuse, gender identity issues, and gaming addiction. Apparently, this kid had some. He's a little bit screwed up. This roommate of his.
You think?
Oh yeah. Lived with grandparents before moving to St. George apartment. Has been fully cooperative with authority and faces no charges. Relationship with Robinson described as romantic. So here's the arrest and surrender. Robinson surrendered voluntarily on September 11th, approximately 33 hours after the shooting. Washington County Sheriff Nick Brooksby detailed the surrender process. Robinson was fearful of being shot by law enforcement, did not want SWAT team at his parents' house, drove to the sheriff office with his father and a family friend who's retired law enforcement. Surrender had to be conducted under gentle conditions. That was the requirements for him to willfully surrender. Family friend contacted sheriff's office using the drive to arrange a peaceful surrender. Interesting development. He's on suicide watch, by the way. So the shooter is now on suicide watch.
Which means?
That really makes it weird.
They're going to watch him commit suicide?
I think, yeah, in this country now, when you're on suicide watch, that's basically
you have an audience.
You have an audience, yeah. That's really what it is. But interesting to say the least when you consider his surrender and how it had to be gentle.
He was fearful of gentle
conditions.
I've never heard that. It must be a chick thing.
So, prosecutor strategy. So, Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray announced the prosecution will seek the death penalty. The case is built on premeditation, political targeting, confession evidence, DNA evidence, obstruction. Gray described Kirk's murder as an American tragedy and emphasized that Kirk was killed while exercising one of our most fundamental rights in the free exchange of ideas. Excuse me. So the next court hearing, folks, is scheduled for September 29th. I think that day we'll probably go live, and I'll see if I can do the live coverage. So it's going to be interesting to hear what comes about from the court hearing. Robinson has not been assigned permanent legal counsel. He appeared via link wearing an anti-suicide vest.
How does he not have counsel yet?
So we'll get into that.
Oh, okay. Am I getting ahead of the game?
My initial question was the same thing. He doesn't have counsel yet. Why?
Yeah. What?
And what is his defense? And is there a defense formulated? Again, this is the preliminary stages of this. There's really nothing too unusual about it, but we'll get into it anyway. No plea has been entered yet. I've been seeing that he pleaded not guilty. but apparently there has been no plea yet. Tyler Robinson has not yet entered a plea.
Isn't that what happens on the
So
29th?
listen to me, folks. He is not. That was the one thing that I was curious about, and I had to find out last night. And let me just verify. There's no updates this morning. I screwed that up.
Do it in your NPR voice, by the way.
He is not filed a plea yet. So yeah, if you're seeing reports that he's pleaded not guilty, because that is something I'm very curious about. If
I
he's
think
going to enter,
that's what the 29th is for.
yeah, that's you're correct. Yep.
Yep.
So Tyler Robinson has not entered a plea yet on any of the 7 charges. As of his most recent court appearance, Robinson remains in the pre-arraignment phase. So this is the pre-arraignment phase of the legal proceedings. This is normal. It's not time to enter a plea yet. So September 29th, tune in to Defiance Daily Show. We'll go live there and give some of the details as we uncover them. So the court appearance details. So his initial appearance, it was virtual. During his brief 10-minute hearing, Judge Tony Graff read all 7 charges against him. Robinson only spoke to confirm his name when asked by the judge. He did not enter a plea and was not asked to do so, guys. So, as this hearing was solely to advise him of the charges. So, again, if you're seeing out there anybody reporting that he's entered a plea, it's not that time and it's not true. So, be careful on some of that stuff. Robinson showed minimal emotion, occasionally nodding slightly. I'll see if we can pull up the video because we'll get into the videos next. He was declared indignant, unable to afford. I'm probably butchering that. Unable to afford legal representation. So indigent. So he can't afford legal counsel. It's interesting that you would think the family, right, would be putting up some money for a legal defense.
Would you?
Man, I'll say something though, man. No, I don't want to say that one. That's a very tough spot to be at. That would be awful to have to turn in my own son for something like, man, I couldn't imagine. Couldn't imagine. So current legal representative status. So public defender assignment process. Greg Skordas, a longtime Utah defense attorney and co-host of KSL News Radio Inside Sources, appeared in court not as Robinson's attorney, but as a representative working with Utah County to help him find legal counsel. He clarified, I'm not entering an appearance. I'm not counsel on the case. I'm working with the county here to get counsel assigned. And that, guys, again, that's not unusual. Unfortunately I've been through this kind of thing, and yeah, that's the judge must formally appoint attorneys for capital cases, and Utah requires at least 2 attorneys for the death penalty case. So if it is going to be court-appointed counsel, it will be 2 on staff. And as of last night, last morning, whatever you want to call it, Mark, there's been no specific attorney publicly named on this permanent counsel.
I'm glad you're getting your
thank you.
descriptions correctly. Yes.
So September 29th is the waiver hearing. Robinson's next court appearance is scheduled for September 29th at 10 a.m. Again, that's September 29th at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Is that daylight or a standard?
I don't know. We'll get to that. This will be the waiver hearing. Robinson must decide whether to waive his right to preliminary hearing. If he doesn't waive it, a preliminary hearing will determine if prosecutors have sufficient evidence to proceed to trial. Only after the preliminary phase will Robinson be asked to enter a plea, okay? So only after that is their plea deal entered, and that's when things will get super interesting.
Yeah.
Isn't there mechanisms to skip a trial altogether if he just confesses, Mark?
Well, no, you can plea, but apparently what from what I understand, the district attorney is saying, we're going for the death penalty. So in other words, what they're telling the defense counsel is, we're not accepting any plea deals.
Okay.
And so there has to be a trial.
Right.
You can't just say, I'm guilty, put me in the chair.
Right, because it's that's right, because it's a death penalty.
Trial.
You have to do a trial
have to do the
regardless.
trial.
Interesting. Okay.
By the way,
that's why we like having a former police officer.
You know why in Utah they offer a firing squad. You can either be, I think it's you're either hung or a firing squad.
Really?
Yeah. Do you know why they now offer a firing squad? Why Utah is unique in this?
Is it
I think they're
cheaper?
unique. I think South Carolina now does. I know Utah started it.
Why?
Because of the Mormon religion.
Really?
In the Mormon religion, there are certain sins that can only be atoned through what they call blood atonement. That is why that was the whole purpose behind the Mormon massacre when they murdered those 170 Christian missionaries going across the West when the Mormons John D.
That's
Lee murdered all those.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so they can only.
You're saying it could be public? Is this true?
What do you mean saying they can be public? What are you talking about?
Like a public execution?
No,
They don't do
but
that.
no, they don't do that. But it's firing squad because that is obviously produces blood.
Right.
And so, if you are of the Mormon faith and you have committed a murder, according to Mormon doctrine, that can only be atoned through your shedding of blood. So
Okay.
that's why they offer the firing squad.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, so let's see. Only after the preliminary hearing phase will Robinson be asked to enter plea deals. So the potential defense strategies that we know are out there, and again, this is speculation. He hasn't been assigned permanent legal counsel, but some of the legal minds that are out there that are making their way through the media are saying things like this. Obviously, this is the one I thought: mental health, diminished capacity. Mainly because there's a lack of a criminal record. There's a potential psychological evaluation to assess mental state. By the way, one of the things I'm looking at, what drugs was he on?
Oh, you know he's on.
You know he's bombed
You-
out on psychotropics and SSRIs.
SSRIs and
Every time.
Yep.
Every time we get here. This is every time.
these parents.
Family reports of recent behavioral changes and increased political radicalization. Now, this is what's interesting because, and we'll, anyway, I'm sorry, we'll focus on this, but there's definitely an expanded scope to this investigation because those texts are weird, but there is no doubt other people involved. I just, after what I saw last night, you can't deny it.
It seems
People with foreknowledge, whole groups deleting their social media comments and then deleting all this stuff. And honestly, it looks like somebody had Robinson's phone and is making those texts. That's kind of what
It does look like that, doesn't it?
and here the speculation is going to get wild here because we'll get into what questions we still have at this point. So mitigating factors for the death penalty. Yeah, there no prior violent criminal history, emotional mental health issues that may have contributed to the crime. Um, Under Utah law, defendants can present any fact in mitigation of the penalty. So challenging, aggravated. So um, defense will likely contest whether Robinson was truly created a great risk of death to anybody else besides Kirk. They may challenge the prosecution's assertion about endangering children at the event. I mean, that's just one of the charges there, but I don't. They're all going to stick. I mean,
I mean, I can't imagine a jury in Orem, Utah. I don't know what that county is. Not.
yeah. So
I mean,
there's
we're not talking about
well, and
Washington
it-
D.C. here.
Well, and here's the thing: like this is it's a very neatly packaged case.
God, it really
Which
got a bow on it.
It's got a bow on it, guys. Overwhelming physical evidence, including DNA on the rifle trigger and the cartridge, the recorded confessions and the text messages, the eyewitness testimonies, the clear premeditated evidence by week-long planning for an assassination.
That's. I mean, well, some of them. I mean,
Whatever. To me, it's a little weird. Defense attorney, here's some other ones. The prosecution has the full weight of the federal government, thousands of analysts. So that is the other thing too. Kash Patel, the FBI is still debating whether they're going to bring federal charges to that. So we don't know what federal charges are about to hit. We know they're still investigated, so we'll get into more of that.
wouldn't that be more of a Pam Bondi call than a Kash Patel?
I think it's a mixture of both.
Okay.
I think so. I don't know. Maybe folks in the comments can tell us, but yeah,
Kash
plea
is the
plea
investigative
bargaining
one, but-
is likely just gone. Yeah, I don't know that that's going to be there, but that is a bow packaged That's not there's a lot of, I don't know how you create reasonable doubt on that, but those text guys, we just read them to you. There's just something odd about it. There's something odd about it. Um, anyway, that's everything to do with, the potential custody. So as of September 19th, Robinson remains in custody without bail at Utah County Jail. He has not entered a plea to the charges, no permanent defense attorney. Um, September 29th will be the next critical juncture of his case. Federal charges are still being considered by the Department of Justice. So you're right. Robinson is being held under suicide prevention protocols. So the case is expected to proceed in trial in 2026 with the death penalty phase potentially extending proceedings. So this is going to be a long time before we even get the details of any of this case. And they better not seal this shit. We need to see everything.
Well,
We need to see everything.
I mean, Travis, I think you're going to be disappointed.
At this point, like, expect the disappointment,
Yeah.
folks. It's coming. Okay.
Exactly.
And again, let's go over the timeline. Approximately 1 week prior, Robinson begins planning the assassination. The family member reports Robinson had become more political in recent years and expressed negative views. So on these Discord chats, by the way, we're finding out from another case. There was that fella up in, I think it was New York. He shot all those people in the market, and they were all black people, and the media went with that it was a right-wing white supremacist, but really it was just a dude that went in and shot people in a predominantly black area. But anyway, it came out, the real scandal on that is apparently the FBI, the ATF, and other agencies were monitoring Discord and some of these other activities, and they knew about it.
Oh.
And Discord is definitely tied in with the Pentagon, the CIA. So we know they're being monitored here, and that's where it gets interesting.
Can you explain again for my age group? And I apologize. Discord. What is that like?
I actually
Facebook?
don't know. Discord is almost like a
Is it like a Facebook on the dark web or
have
something?
you? It's not dark web stuff. This is all out in the open stuff.
Okay.
But you ever heard of WhatsApp?
I've heard of it. I don't.
Or I don't know these other ones, but it's basically it's like a standalone messaging app. Kind of like how we have like Google Chat.
Okay, and
It's like that, but like on a different server and a different service, basically. So you can get in there, you can be anonymous, you can do all different kinds of things. You can,
and it's just people typing stuff.
They're in group chats. They talk about video games. They talk about kind of like Reddit. It's kind of like a Reddit forum.
Okay.
And which, by the way, like the FBI is heavily involved in monitoring Reddit traffic. And we see all kinds of, I'm just waiting for it. I'm waiting for the statement. He was on our radar.
Oh,
I'm waiting for it. I am. I'm waiting for it.
It is.
I'm waiting for it. We'll see. We'll see.
God, you're so right, bro.
So let's so the day of the assassination. Okay, this is what caught my eye when I saw the timeline. I know I blew through it real fast there. Let's revisit this real quick. 8:29 Mountain Time.
Standard or daylight?
I don't know, Mark. Initial campus arrival. Tyler Robinson arrives Utah Valley driving the gray Dodge Charger. Where's the video on that? Why haven't we seen the video of the Dodge Charger driving up on campus? Odd. He was wearing a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, light-colored shoes, and a black hat with the white logo. Authorities track him via surveillance camera from this point forward. From 8:30 to 11:50 a.m., this is called the unknown activity period. Robin's activities for 3 hours and 20 minutes remain unclear to authorities.
But wasn't he on the Aren't there cameras everywhere? I'm asking. I don't know.
This is what witnesses are saying, that when the FBI came on scene, they sent videos to the FBI, the videographer. There's this, okay, folks, this is where like I think the stuff's intentionally put out there to discredit a lot of the questions around this. There's this video of a someone at the event right after the shooting, and he's collecting all the video, and they're like, "Who is this guy? That's an FBI. He's going to collect it." It's actually exact. It wasn't long after that was his videographer, folks. He's going and collecting all the cards and getting everything, and yeah, they delivered that to the authorities. There's a camera, guys, right behind Charlie Kirk's head. That video, we need to see that video.
Where is the video?
The FBI's got it.
Why can't we see it?
So this is what's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna take folks down memory lane. Something I remember when I was younger. Whenever the Pentagon got hit on 9/11,
They gathered all the
what was the first thing the FBI did?
They went after all the cameras.
You remember
in that area.
how long was it before we even got those
that
weird
one
framed videos that apparently showed a plane?
Oh, it was years later.
But you didn't see the plane,
Right.
okay? Because people were saying it was hit by a missile,
Right.
and it hit an area of the Pentagon where there was a lot of interesting investigations going on.
Yeah, and some budgetary.
Anyway, but do you remember what the FBI did? The first thing they did is every piece of video around that area was immediately seized.
Yes.
Same thing here. Wow. So we've seen all the videos going around. You notice the videos going around, we're getting all the same angles. There's really not a whole lot of deviation. So the video that's right behind the camera that's right here, and I'm not kidding, it's propped right above his head, and that's what it's showing being collected. That's going to show a lot, folks. That should show us a lot of details. You theoretically, and I don't know, but it looks like a very high quality camera.
Gosh.
We might see it might be a very clear picture.
Might be able to see the shooter.
Might be able to see the
During
shooter.
the shot.
Might be able to see everything along those. So there is one other interesting video. It does look like from behind Charlie, you see the kind of the poster there behind. It looks like a hole gets ripped into it right after you hear the shot.
Really?
But does that if that's an exit wound on his neck, it's not a 30-06. That's a way smaller caliber. It can't be a 30-06. Because a 30-06, my guess is from behind. Man, it's probably gruesome back there, folks. So that again, the autopsy and the medical exam that clears a lot of this stuff up. So I'm not really too into the let's look at all these different angles. I just show me the medical exam.
Now they can't do that until after the trial.
That's correct, Mark. So how many years until we get to see this stuff? So
and how much is it going to be redacted? How do we even know if it's the real? We still don't know about the RFK.
Guys,
JFK,
we still got medical exam consistencies from
JFK. We still
from
don't.
Epstein, guys.
Epstein, yes, I mean,
unfortunately, this is where we are. You know, this is where we are when it comes to this stuff. So that's right, folks. So from 8:30 a.m. to 11:50 a.m. for 3 hours and 20 minutes, what is he doing? What is the shooter doing on campus for 3 hours and 20 minutes?
What does a furry do with 3 hours?
Investigators believed he changed into dark clothing during this period. So let me paint this picture. Okay. Authorities say he changed into dark clothing.
Why?
In broad daylight.
Yeah, why? Why would you?
Is he trying to throw people off? You know, changing outfits, make it look like and then when we get to the security footage, why would the shooter be carrying the rifle in his leg pants if they were telling us you could pack it up? So that's a glaring inconsistency right there alone. You see the camera, and why did it go to TMZ of all places first?
Oh God, did it really?
We're seeing eyewitness testimony where the people were gathering videos, and there's an old fella that it's like above his garage on there. Obviously, they turned that over. Well, when they turned it over, so who gave it to TMZ?
Why don't?
And how do they know? How do they know it was him?
Why don't we have more videos, Travis? It seems like with the crowd that was there, these kids. There was a bunch.
It's an immediate red flag to me. It's an immediate red.
You know what I'm saying? There had to have been hundreds of videos being.
Home security footage from nearby residential areas shows him walking through the neighborhood around 8:23 a.m. So 3 hours and 20 minutes. We have no idea where he's at, what he's doing. And then 11:50 a.m., Robinson reappears on surveillance, moving through the grassy area North Campus near 800 West. Exhibits distinctive limping gait with stiff right leg, walking a slower pace. Investigators believe the limp caused by a concealed rifle hidden in his clothes. So he wrapped it in a towel and shoved it in a giant rifle in his pants.
No, he didn't. Because you're not going to do that. How?
Well, and to me, it's like I thought the rifle could be broken down. It was a broken down, assembled. He put it in a case. Whatever. I can't keep up with this shit. Crosses through parking lot, heading towards pedestrian tunnel. He's still displaying the noticeable limp. 11:53. He checks his phone into the tunnel entry. He stops at top of stairs and pulls out a cell phone. Puts phone back in his pocket and enters the pedestrian tunnel. So on that cell phone, by the way, let me see if I can find the video. It looks like he's texting somebody.
Oh.
Hello, everybody. Paul Nelson, KUTV2 News, and I am on the scene of Utah Valley University, where police have given a breakdown of what they believe happened immediately before and after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Now, this actually started at around 8:30 that morning. Police say that Tyler Robinson was seen arriving in his car in a completely different outfit than what he was seen later. At that time, he was wearing a maroon shirt and light-colored shorts. Now, a few hours later, at 11:50, police say that Robinson was actually seen on the video crossing this parking lot, heading into that pedestrian tunnel. Now, after that, he crossed over into the southeast doors of the building. The entire time, though, police say he was limping, as if he wasn't able to bend his right leg. They say he walked with a stiff leg at a slower pace. Now, at 12:02, the PC statement says Robinson was seen on the north side of the building, but he crossed over to the south side, where he gained access inside the building on the southeast corner doors. Now, once inside the building, police say that he started climbing the steps at 12:15. At 12:17, he was reportedly seen hopping a short wall on the roof, and that's where he waited for a few minutes. 12:22, he ran across the roof to put himself in position with his limp noticeably gone at that point.
How?
And at 12:23, reportedly, that's when he fired the fatal shot. Now, the surveillance video shows that Robinson reportedly dropped from that corner of the building right there and crossed through this lawn right here. And as he did, he then crossed his way across Campus Drive. Now, this area here, this grassy, tree-filled area here that is blocked off by police tape, police say that this is where they found the 30-06 bolt-action rifle.
He
wrapped
put
in
it
a dark
right there
towel.
out. Now, we're also getting inconsistencies on where they actually found the rifle. So we're seeing from the police, they're saying they found it in the woods. There's eyewitnesses that say no. The neighborhood nearby, it was found in a backyard near a chicken coop. So which is it? Which is it? So we're already seeing some of the consistencies.
Here we go.
And honestly, for 3 hours, this is why I definitely think there was more people involved. Is he getting briefed?
No.
Is he getting instruction?
Right.
Is he getting a little coaching? You want to know something interesting? The eyewitness that contacted Candace Owens that said it was found at a neighbor's backyard by a chicken coop, the next door to the house where they supposedly found the gun, that's a vacant house. That's a vacant house.
Interesting.
So running straight to that area in this vacant house, where have we heard weird stuff about these vacant houses where we have incidents like this?
Well,
You know what those are called?
safe houses.
Safe houses. Interesting to say the least. Anyway.
Interesting.
Puts phone back in pocket and enters pedestrian tunnel. Even when you're reading the text messages, like when we say coaching and scripted and all this, and then he's changing all his clothes. What? That is very meticulous type of planning. Is that to throw us off?
And why put on
Is that to throw
blackout
and then make yourself noticeable in all black, like you're trying to draw attention to yourself?
Something is.
Anyway, yeah, that's the whole timeline and everything. And now the distance, it's 142 yards. So
This reminds me of the book Chaos in regard to um, government operations like uh, Operation Majestic, and what's the other one when they were doing with all the LSD and things in the 60s, and
oh, you're talking about the
behind
LSD experiments and all that
yeah,
weird
and
shit.
behind
Yeah.
the Manson
MK Ultra.
MK Ultra.
MK Ultra.
That this just smacks of that.
It does. It has
It-
a
it
little bit of
just- it-
tinge to it. And
it
wait till
really
we see what
does.
drugs he was on, because that is definitely a part of that program, by the way. Okay. FBI special agent. So this was the next day, September 11th. FBI special agent Robert Bowles announces recovery of a bolt action rifle, a Mauser 30 6 caliber wrapped in a towel found in wooded area. Again, we're getting two different stories from eyewitnesses on where they found that. So there was
Who's lying?
that, and this is, I only point this out because the dad was asking for pictures of that rifle. Why would the dad ask for pictures of the rifle?
Why did the dad know the rifle was missing or gone? Or is it to me it was coming across that maybe they saw it on the TV
And they were like,
and they
"What
were
is
like,
that?"
why is our my father
Or it's like, that's not our rifle. Could be that too. Because I remember when the cops found the brown rifle, and then what I'm seeing on screen is black. Like, which rifle is it? I don't know. I probably need to do a better job of looking at that. But anyways, wrapped in a towel right outside the crime scene. Footwear impression, palm print, DNA, forearm, and then 9:58. FBI releases initial photos of person initial. By the way, we had clear photos available. Why were the ones we given so
why are they always
crappy?
They're Bigfoot
They're
videos
they're like
and
they're
photos.
they're Bigfoot photos pretty
Yeah.
much. So that was the picture of him in a black long sleeve shirt with American flag and bald eagle, sunglasses, hat, and backpack. 1044, FBI announces $100,000 reward. Additional images were released later that evening. 7:30, major press conference. Authorities display photos and video of the suspect. Governor Cox reports over 7,000 tips received and nearly 200 interviews conducted. Yeah, and then they start preparing the death penalty documents and so forth. Yeah, and then 7:59 later that night, that's when the escape footage was released. Okay, so here's the surrender. Robinson surrenders to authorities at 10 p.m. that night, September 11th. Washington County, Utah. Father had recognized him in surveillance photos and confronted him. Family member contacted authorities with information that Robinson had confessed or suggested involvement. Which is it? Which is it? How do you go from confession to suggested involvement? Which is it?
And wasn't there like a youth pastor or somebody involved?
Yeah. And they were helping with
Okay, I didn't
the
mean to
surrender.
get ahead. I didn't want to get, but I'm just
I
saying.
mean, you're not ahead, but yeah, that was the family friend that we were talking about. But he was not. I didn't see anything about a pastor. He was a former deputy or something along those lines.
Okay, I heard it was.
Information that Robinson had confessed or suggested involvement. And that's where when people start theorizing about things like patsies, I hate to say it, but this is the exact narrative where you'd find one. 3 hours gone missing, and then the evidence being laid out, and it just somehow leads to you, and then you have these text messages and all this stuff.
Okay, devil's advocate.
Mm.
This is very elaborate, and you bring up really good questions. But why? So why was you're making it sound like Charlie Kirk was like an important target?
Clearly.
Why take out Charlie Kirk?
Well,
Okay, I didn't
there's a multitude of reasons. I mean, we can all speculate. No doubt, Charlie Kirk was on the path to presidency. Number one. Number two, you can't argue how effective Kirk was at what he was doing.
He
folks.
changed the youth of America.
He
He changed.
radically changed it. And not only that, he was a huge, if not the tip of the spear on why Trump got elected. Because that youth vote he got out and people registering, ooh, that's a problem. That's a powerful voice. Charlie Kirk was also, yeah, he was mainstream conservative, but kind of towards this last 6 months, he was starting to question a lot of different things.
How about his involvement in inspiring young men to become masculine
That
leader
is the
men?
biggest one, right? I really think that
Because that's where
going
revolutions come from.
going on college campuses, which is ground zero for the forefront of this war that we're talking about, and changing their minds, can't be doing that. If you're too influential and you're not under control, that's a problem. So again, it's obvious. Now, the other part to this too is maybe we're just thinking too elaborate about it, and really, it's he was part of a group that blamed him for the shooting. So somebody else helped set him up. This dude does not seem like he's all there mentally, but he got a scholarship. He's a smart kid.
He's banging a poodle.
He's so it could be one of the instances of, maybe there was some FBI foreknowledge. Kash Patel hasn't been asked this, by the way. Did the FBI know in advance of any of this stuff? That's a key question that needs to happen.
Okay,
Here.
all right. Let me devil's advocate. If that were the case, would Kash Patel even know?
No.
Okay,
I definitely
paint
don't.
a
Okay,
picture of how big the FBI. Everybody, look, I'm not letting Cash off the hook, especially after the Epstein thing and the things telling us that he committed suicide. How big is the FBI, Travis? And how possibly could one person even know? I mean, I don't think the average person has any concept of how huge these government agencies are, how enormous they are, and the things that are going on that just nobody knows about. Again, I'm not making excuses for Kash Patel. He needs to know what's going on in the Bureau. He needs to surround himself with good people. But is it ridiculous?
So listen to this.
suggest-
This is just headquarters structure, 9 divisions, 3 offices, 7,300 employees. The field branches and structures, so 55 field offices, 350 resident agencies, more than 60 international liaison offices. That's 16,000 employees. So 13,700 special agents, 20,100 professionals. And that's the without counting what's in the field offices, the resident agencies, the international offices. Um, it's huge. It's gigantic. So the as far as operations concerned, when we talk about black op operations, or we know the FBI has been involved in some pretty insane stuff in the past. And no, I definitely don't think I just don't think that
So, do you think it is within the realm of possibility that there could be numbers of people, groups of people within the FBI operating and, gosh, not even know what the
and
name-
they could be tied in. They could be the branch office there, and you got a left lunatic FBI agent. I mean, there's so many different theories in there, but either way, look, the bottom line, it don't smell right. Yeah, of course we've got the formal identification. We got them, all this stuff, and it goes on and on. Here's the questions, guys. All right, let's go through some of the questions we have here, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. Of course, the official reports vary on the distance. Some sources report 142, while others claim 200. That's a significant, like Mark said, yeah, 10, 20 yards is a giant difference in a shot.
It's a big
The
difference.
initial false custody claims I thought were weird. 12:48 p.m. University dispatched an emergency alert stating a suspect was in custody. Kash Patel tweeted at 4:21 p.m. that the subject responsible for the horrific shooting is now in custody. At 5:59, he later said the subject in custody has been released after questioning. Two individuals were questioned, but neither connected to the shooting. Kind of odd. Robinson arrives on campus at 8:29 a.m., but doesn't appear on surveillance until 11:50. A 3-hour and 21-minute gap with no official explanation of his whereabouts or activities. Authorities believe he changed clothing during this period. So yeah, 3 hours to change. Okay.
Who's changing clothes in the middle of something like this?
Witnesses.
I can
Well,
understand- unless it's
to
like a
me,
like-
that's a coachable thing. Like, look, this is a clandestine operation. You got to confuse the audience. You got to change clothes. That's not something you just think about on your own. I feel like as a college student. And,
Well, if you watched a couple of movies,
I mean, yeah,
sometimes,
okay, yeah.
but you don't
Devil's
change
advocate.
clothes like that, though. In other words, you add a cap or you take a cap away.
Sure,
You
sure.
you put on a blue shirt instead of a red shirt. You don't.
It's just weird.
It's
it is.
weird how.
So security presence discrepancies. Witnesses report minimal to no security measures at the event. However, an official mentions that a Utah Valley University police officer positioned at an elevated vantage point who quickly identified the shooting location. There was 6
Dude,
officers.
what?
Uh-huh. Did
Okay,
you know that?
No. What?
Did you know that? Who knew this?
Okay, no. Nobody.
Let's get into it.
Nobody's holding their hand up. What was this?
Hang on. A Utah, this is from, and again, this is from PBS. A Utah Valley University police officer was watching the university campus crowd from an elevated position and identified the roof of the Low C Center as a potential position for a shooter. The officer found evidence on the roof immediately, he said, and spurred officers to direct their attention to surveillance video leading to the roof.
Okay, all right. Question. This is a vague statement.
Is it not?
There's an officer observing the area from an elevated position. Now,
And he did, and
that
he
could mean he's just.
and listen how they word it, right?
Yeah, it's
He identified the roof as a potential position, so he didn't see the shooter, but he's on an elevated
all right,
position.
was this simultaneously while Charlie Kirk was speaking? Was this officer? Why was an officer observing from an elevated
I
position?
want to interview this police officer. I think that's the next step here. People need to interview this police officer.
What was he doing up there? Was he just?
And where was his elevated position?
Yeah, because the shooter was at a.
So he didn't. Everybody else saw the shooter running across the roof. Someone saw him 30 minutes before
and
and videoed it.
He had to hear the shot, so it would automatically make him start looking around.
Yeah.
What I mean,
I think it'd be worth interviewing the guy.
What's
just
his name?
seeing. Let's see if we can get the officer's name.
Does anybody have a connection with anyone at the this police department in Orem, Utah, or in that county?
And it was a
Washington
Utah
County
Valley University Police Center.
University. If anybody, please.
Yeah, he quickly identified the shooting location, and then the one he points out happens to be the exact place where they find all this evidence. I mean, I just want to hear more. I mean, honestly.
If anybody has a connection anywhere, just email me, Mark at defiancepress.com. And I want to get a hold of this police officer, see if we can't.
The presence of 6 police officers at the event conflicts with witness accounts of inadequate security. So there were 6 police officers there.
These are uniformed police officers.
I think these are Utah Valley University police officers. So
mall cops.
Mall. You said it, man. So, I mean,
okay.
Robinson exhibits a distinctive limping gait when approaching campus. However, surveillance shows him running normally across the roof after the shooting with the limp now absent. Well, I mean, if he's shot, this is
it's a reminiscent of the Ford Theater shooting of Lincoln.
He's running across the roof. Where's his gun? Did they see him with the gun running across the roof? In the video I saw, I didn't see that. So I don't know. I don't know. I think a lot of this too might be just the lack of me having. I think here's what we're going to try to do, folks. We're going to put a timeline to the surveillance videos that are out there. And I think that'd be really good content to put out there.
That'd be great.
So on the Defiance Daily Show, look out. We won't do that live, but why don't we put together the whole timeline of surveillance video that is out there, and then we'll let you decide for yourself on how weird this is. Of course, the authenticity of the text messages are in question.
Mm.
It looks scripted, doctored, coached, whatever you want to call it, just weird. No emojis, which, for kids, is like that's um DNA evidence timing. So Robinson's DNA found, I mean, that was the quickest DNA evidence processed ever in history. So typical forensic timelines. I mean, then again, for a high profile one, they probably,
that one's not.
that one's not too out
the
there.
Technology with DNA now is getting better
Yeah.
by the day. That's not that big a deal.
That's a good point. That's from Robert Olivo. No drones in the air. You would think automatic drones are like part of the. Drones are
Did you-
automatic part of this security.
I think there's 30 plus states. Is it 30 states that it's a law that you cannot
Oh, like certain, like
You
I know what
can't-
you're talking about.
do something about surveilling? I don't know.
Like Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh had an interesting take on that because they've been harped on before, especially after Trump. Like, you got to have more security, and they still kind of walk around like, it's not going to happen here. It's not going to happen to me. So I think that was part of the lack of security. I don't think Charlie wasn't scared, man.
No,
He wasn't scared,
he
but
was not. That
he just absolutely just put his faith in God.
He
And just
did.
went out there and
Guy
did his
was-
thing. And let me tell you, man, talking about dying in battle,
Oh,
died with the sword in hand. What a fucking legend, Charlie Kirk,
it's
man.
unbelievable.
Awesome. Very, very
Incredible,
emblematic.
man. What an
of-
example.
That's that logo right there. That's
Yeah.
Defiance right there with the weapon of war with his microphone. Just, man. Anyway. FBI Director Kash Patel confirmed a lot more than 20 people participated in a Discord chat with Robinson. Robinson appeared to confess in the chat, "It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all this." FBI is running them all down and serving legal process on Discord. Discord's internal investigation. That's right. Discord is saying they found no evidence that the suspect planned this incident or promoted violence.
Hmm.
The FBI saying one thing, Discord saying another. Now, Discord probably has a little more reason to lie than the FBI,
Yeah.
but the FBI is the FBI, so here we are.
Right.
Here's the Arm Queers SLC investigation.
What? The who?
Arm Queers of Salt Lake City, a pro-transgender armed group. Now, this group apparently, not only are they saying vile things on social media, but they also train in firearm shooting. They've got very specific coaching for organizing and research capability and all these things.
Yeah, all you guys on the right who think that we're going to go to war and just wipe these people out because they don't know which end is the business end of a rifle, you are sadly mistaken.
Yeah,
These people are preparing.
This is serious stuff.
They are preparing for war.
This is serious stuff. And this is what's interesting. And this wasn't the only organization. They deleted their entire Instagram account following Kirk's death. So a bunch of people deleted their social media. Republican Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna called it an extended network under FBI investigation.
I'm tired of hearing about the investigations. When do we start seeing arrests?
Yeah, and apparently there was communication correspondence on Steam gaming community.
Interesting.
So other mechanism. Where did I just see that on a movie where they were using video games to? What was that? It was a good show.
It was a terrorist.
Was it that show Bodyguard? And basically, these terrorists were communicating on this video game.
Yeah.
It would be a live thing, and then they'd come in there and do the message. So same kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
as you're in character, how the characters communicate with one another within the gaming deal. That's what these
Right.
terrorists and stuff like that. That's what they utilize. That's how they communicate. It's on
So,
these gaming platforms.
This is where So, listen, when we're speculating about, the FBI telling us the truth or not, it looks weird and all this kind of stuff. Why they would do that? Does that mean our own government, or is the government protecting the fact that they knew about these groups? They actually monitored this traffic. He was on the radar already. This kid out of nowhere in the last year gets radicalized and nobody's looking at the roommate.
Can I just make a reminder here?
Yeah, yeah.
I already referenced the book Chaos. If you've not read Chaos, I highly, highly recommend you read the book Chaos. What is it called? MK Ultra. There was a psychiatrist by the name of Dr. Jolly West. Are you familiar with that name, Travis?
Hmm.
Jolly West was the psychiatrist that got Charlie Manson and his family hooked on LSD in San Francisco. A lot of weirdness behind Dr. Jolly West and that whole program. And then, do you know where Jolly West popped up again?
Where?
Who took out Lee Harvey Oswald? Jack Ruby.
Jack Ruby.
Jack
Oh,
Ruby.
wasn't he Jack Ruby's psychiatrist?
Jack Ruby was sitting in a jail cell, and then he wanted to confess to the whole thing. And the next day, Dr. Jolly West showed up to examine Jack Ruby. And Jack Ruby, as soon as Jolly West left the cell, Jack Ruby was then insane, climbing the walls, and was never the same psychologically after that. And nobody knew what happened. And then Jack Ruby died with all the secrets in him.
Yep.
And this is not speculation.
You have to know about this stuff. Like, this isn't just
This is
some
not
made up.
This is not a Q thing. These are facts.
See, this is what. Look, after what happened, we almost were at this conversation with the president.
Oh,
Yeah, could you imagine what our country would look like right now if that were to happen?
We would be at war.
That would have been too much to overcome. Yeah, there'd absolutely be blood on concrete all over the place. No doubt about it. But let me tell you something, guys. I don't think the left's done with this stuff.
No, we're just getting
Now,
started.
am I saying the FBI, are they doctoring stuff? Yeah, but does that change the fact that this is definitely a Trantifa type of program? It's what it looks like, folks. It's what it looks like. And the speculation from my standpoint is I just want to know how much involvement the FBI had beforehand. That's it. The Governor Whitmore case, the kidnapping plots, the FBI terror plots.
January 6th.
January 6th. Who is always involved? There's always a fucking agent involved or a CI at a minimum. Every story, every terror plot that's been funding the arms, or giving them armaments, giving them money, these basement dwelling potheads on this kidnapping plot. And there's some weird stuff going on, folks. Weird stuff. But you got to know about it. Otherwise, you're just going to swallow narratives whole. But this is a left-wing shooting. There's no fucking doubt about it. Okay, let me just make that clear. Now, as far as who else was involved, that's what's not clear. And we know that at a minimum, we are not being told the truth about something. Something's off with the text messages. There's something off with the lack of a giant social media imprint. And there's definitely the fact just going right. Remember the day after? It was a lone gunman. That's all we were getting fed. Lone gunman, lone gunman, lone gunman. There's nobody else involved. Lone gunman, lone gunman, lone gunman.
Just like 62 November, Dallas, Texas.
I cannot wait. I gotta hear this trial because, man, I hate that Charlie Kirk's death now it's gonna have this shroud of mystery over it forever, like JFK.
Just same, no difference.
We're just gonna have all these speculative, things happening. So anyway, we'll see what happens. But here's how I know. In my gut, know for sure there's other people involved, especially that 3 hours of missing time. And he's talking about a drop point in the Discord. I mean, let's say that those texts are real. That's 100% authentic. Well, a drop point, sweeping, squad car. Is it possible he had a handler? He was being coached where to go retrieve the weapon if he wasn't the shooter. Maybe he was helping the shooter. You think that's possible? Well, who would the shooter be then, Travis? I don't know. You want to look at that furry fella that apparently had a violent history and past and had substance abuse and was kicked out of his home, but yet he's sitting there going to call. And this roommate, like, by the way, I'll try to get into that next week. But who's paying for this place that they were living in? Because
That's
what I was being told is it looked like it was vacant, like nobody lived there. Interesting. But here's the big red flag. This is why I know in my gut they are covering up at least the network of these radicals. The FBI is investigating at least 7 social media accounts that appeared to indicate foreknowledge of his Kirk's assassination. Here, let me read them for you, and you can tell me yourself, folks.
Okay.
September 3rd, it'd be funny if someone like Charlie got shot on September 10th, LMAO. That one's not as bad. Well, in the context of foreknowledge. August 6th, September 10th will be a very interesting day, followed up by I plead the 5th after the shooting. So the Twitter user that posted that was August 6th.
August 6th.
Does that sound like a week of planning to you? September 10th will be a very interesting day. And then after the shooting, I plead the 5th. So that's under investigation. September 9th, the night before, a TikTok video stating Charlie James Kirk does not know what's coming tomorrow. This isn't a threat. It's a promise. That's the day before. One of the accounts appears to follow Robinson's roommate, Lance Twiggs, on TikTok. Posted, "We fucking did it," minutes after Kirk was pronounced dead. Several accounts appear associated with LGBTQ subcultures and transgender individuals. Does that sound like nobody knew what was coming? Sounds like it was something he wanted to take to his grave. Isn't that interesting? While we're speculating about all these other people involved, it just conveniently puts in the text messages, I hope to keep this in my grave until my dying day. Whatever. One account referenced September 10th, more than a month before the killing. All the posts were deleted in the days following the killing. The FBI has received archived copies of the deleted post and are investigating. Motive. When did his political views start shifting?
Yeah.
What specific influences caused this change?
Went to college.
And then in the text, since Trump got in the office, my dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. Well, why would you text that to the boy? Wouldn't your boyfriend know that?
God, of course.
It's weird. FBI confirmed that Robinson had an obsession with Kirk and was tracking his events through public information. See, and that's the thing, like that sounds like an influenced thing. Like being influenced. We know on these sub channels and Reddit and Discord and all this is the stuff they talk about. They talk about killing people and they're tracking their movements. And then, of course, right when Kirk was discussing transgender mass shooters, he was shot. So, mental health questions, of course. But there's still questions about the roommate's role, Lance Twiggs. Tyler became significantly more extreme during the year that they dated. You know who the FBI loves to recruit, by the way, or at least get in their influence, is screwed up kids.
Oh my God.
Drugged
yes.
out, screwed up kids with
Yes.
bad family histories. They are the
Charlie
perfect.
Manson and his family.
They are perfect.
Yes.
No charges filed, despite extensive text communications about the crime. You know, and that's the other thing. We're sitting here and thinking, you know, did the FBI doctor those photos, or did the other people involved doctor those? That might be more realistic. I'll be honest. That's there's still so many questions again. How did he get Grandpa's rifle? Who else had knowledge of Robinson having access to these? Well, I mean, the firearms, but I thought it was a gift, but obviously it's grandpa's rifle. Um, where was the rifle kept? Who might have known about the plot? Yeah, and apparently there's more than 20 people tied to these social media platforms that are being investigation. Yeah, presence on Steam, TikTok, and other. And again, we're not that the Steam, that social media footprint. They're all wiped out every time this happens. Somehow it's just automatic. Social media gets wiped. It happened in Butler. It happened. It happened with the remember the Trump hotel explosion in Las Vegas.
Yep.
The radical Muslim that drove through and started shooting up people in New Orleans.
Yep.
Same thing.
Houston.
Same thing. Um, all right, let's talk about the autopsy. So, as of September 19th, 2025, no complete autopsy report has been publicly released by the Utah County Medical Examiner's Office. The autopsy was conducted on September 11th, 2025, approximately 24 hours after Kirk's death, but specific findings remain sealed as part of the ongoing criminal investigation. Apparently, that's not too unusual.
That's not unusual.
That's not unusual, folks.
That's the law.
That's the law, and that's a big investigation. That's a death penalty investigation. So here's what's known from medical authorities. Basic wound information. Shot fired September 10th, 12:23 p.m. Mountain Time. Single gunshot wound in the neck. 30-06, 142 yards. Death pronounced approximately 90 minutes later at Timpanogos Regional Hospital. By the way, viewer discretion advised here because this is, guys, it was pretty immediate. But there's a little silver lining to this. And you're probably asking, what the hell is Travis talking about? Just bear with me here. So basically, the physical responses from medical experts and other people opining. Kirk grabbed his neck with his right hand. Witness accounts in the video have been shown. Richard grabbed his neck with his right hand immediately after being struck, slumped backward into the side in his chair. There is an interesting video. It does look like his head jolts forward. That's why I'm a little curious about the behind the shot theory. But again, kind of shaky ground there. Massive blood loss from the left side of his neck, described by witnesses as so much blood it was like a waterfall. He went limp within seconds of being struck. So the medical expert analysis. This is forensic pathologist assessment from Dr. Kendall Crowns, chief medical examiner of Tarrant County, provided a detailed analysis just based on the video evidence. So this is all just based on Kirk exhibited. Man, I wish my wife knows this medical stuff. Decorticate posturing, arms pulling inward reflexively. This indicates spinal cord was severed from the brain communication. Robinson was Charlie was instantly rendered quadriplegic within that moment. Spinal cord severance likely occurred between the C4 and C5 vertebrae level. Carotid artery was obviously severed. The jugular vein also likely damaged. This caused massive hemorrhaging and rapid blood loss. Kirk lost consciousness within 0.4 of a second after impact, folks. So the silver lining here is it was far too fast for his brain to even register what had happened. Likely felt no pain due to instantaneous unconsciousness. So, God, that is fuck.
I'm so angry.
Oh my God.
Can I just say something real quick? I know we've kind of had a little bit of a humorous sort of that's not insensitivity on Travis and I's part. I think it's a healthy way where we're at in this.
Let us cope.
Let us cope because I hope you guys don't think for 1 second that Travis or I in any way see anything humorous about this.
No, this is a critical point in our history. But I think Charlie Kirk's wife knows this. She's probably heard this because she did mention something along those lines that he didn't feel a thing. And I think it's clear if you see the video. And my wife, she was an EMT. She studied to be a neurosurgeon. She's top of her. She knows this stuff. When I showed her, she said he was That was instant.
Yeah.
That was instant, basically. The ballistics analysis, just from the video, approximately the wound was the entry wound was the size of the dime on the neck, struck on the left side of Kirk's neck near the C4, C5 vertebrae. Um, the 30-06 caliber round created both permanent and temporary wound cavities. Temporary wound cavity extended approximately 3-inch radius around the permanent wound. Bullet likely fragmented and destroyed everything in its path. Hydrostatic shock caused additional tissue damage throughout the next region. So the exit wound, this is where I'm super curious. There's no clear footage of the exit wound. Exit wounds typically much larger than the entrance wound due to bullet force. A 30-06, folks, that exit wound is going to be nasty. It's going to be bad, folks. Primary cause of death analysis, massive blood loss from severed carotid artery and jugular vein, instantaneous or near instantaneous loss of consciousness, and catastrophic damage to the cervical spinal cord. Forensic expert Joseph Scott Morgan stated unsurvivable injury, even with a medical intervention, even if the team had the finest vascular surgeons standing right there on the scenes, couldn't have saved them. The wound was catastrophic in nature. Other experts concur. It's as close to as instantaneous as it gets. No fighting it. No chance to even process what happened. Kirk was already gone on the ground despite being transported. The hospital timeline: 12:23. The shot was fired. 12:24 to 12:36 p.m. Kirk carried out by 6 men in the SUV for transport. Approximately 1:39 p.m. He was pronounced dead. He did undergo surgery at the hospital. Reports initially described him as in critical condition during transport. Medical experts clarify now that was misleading. Kirk was essentially deceased at the scene. Any flicker of life remaining would have been seconds at most. Okay, so post-mortem procedures. September 10th, the body was released from the hospital after death was pronounced, transferred to Utah Office of Medical Examiner in Taylorsville. September 11th, autopsy was completed in the morning hours. The body was transferred to local Salt Lake City mortuary for embalming. Embalming performed to prepare for air transport. 2:30 p.m. JD Vance arrives on Air Force 2. Body escorted to Phoenix, Arizona on September 11th. So the information not yet public, specific on autopsy findings regarding the exact anatomical structures damaged, the toxicology results, if any substances were present, which is part of the autopsy. That's normal. Complete pathologist report with detailed injury descriptions, photographic evidence from the autopsy. Those are going to be sealed. Precise trajectory analysis of the bullet path through the tissues. That right there is going to be the big one that everybody's going to be paying attention to, just to quell a lot of the theories that are rapidly going around on social media right now. So the rapid autopsy and embalming timeline did raise some questions among online observers, though forensic experts note that this is standard procedure for high-profile homicide cases, federal transport across state lines. Justice Scalia, there was kind of a similar pattern here to this, so nothing too unusual. Legal restrictions mean detailed autopsy findings will likely remain sealed until after the trial concludes, which could extend well beyond 2026, given the complexity and the death of the returning case. But anyway, yeah, and we're seeing all these normal people around us that you thought just voted Democrat. Maybe they're a little kooky. Folks are now finding out now that that is not the case. We've got a serious problem here, folks.
Yeah, no, serious.
You've got
Huge,
a whole.
huge problem.
It's literally down the middle. Look at Congress, look at Senate. You have half the country that thinks this is okay.
Tens of millions of people.
Millions of people, folks.
Tens of millions of people.
This was a YouGov survey. Key findings from September 10th poll. Justification of political violence. 25% of very liberal respondents said violence might sometimes be warranted for political purposes. 17% of liberals shared this view. 9% of moderates agreed. 6% of conservatives agree. 3% of very conservatives respondents agreed. 26% of the liberals under 45 versus 12% of older liberals believe political violence could be justified. 19% of adults under 30 overall said political violence is absolutely justified. And of course, younger Americans across all spectrums believe any of that violence is justified. And that's just how screwed up we are as a nation. 44% of very liberals and 27% of liberals found it acceptable to celebrate his death. 10% of very conservative and 9% of conservatives shared this view. Majority of even very liberal Americans, 56% still said celebrating the deaths was unacceptable. That's not really reflective on my Facebook feed, but
How do we? So what does that mean, Travis? What do those numbers mean? What does that mean to
so
you?
what does that mean? Am I overplaying it? Are we just
The young lady on the
I'm gonna show everybody video and exactly what we're up against here, and you can decide for yourself and your takeaway from it. And this audio for this video better work, folks. Please don't be shy in the comments, folks. All these normies, all these Democrats, and look, I went ahead and purged my Facebook. I'm not fucking around. If you're talking about this stuff, or you're gone, you're out of my life. That's it. It's that simple. This is here. Just watch the video and you decide for yourself what you think's really happening here.
Oh man, did you guys see that activist in America, Charlie Kirk? He got shot. Did you see that? That guy loves gun violence and he got shot. Did you see that? Oh man, Charlie Kirk. You know, to the Charlie Kirk family. Did you see all that blood that came out of his body? It was like, to every Zionist, every Christian Zionist, may you be just like that shop, the Target. All his followers, just like the shop, the Target. I'm not saying that violence isn't the way, so don't misconstrue my words, okay? Did you see all that blood? That dude's dead. There is a fucking God. Oh man.
When we call them the demonic left, that's exactly what the fuck I'm talking about right there. There is no bridging the gaps or extending olive branches to people that think like this. And let me tell you, all the normies around you, all the Democrats, where this is a political play, this is who they are. This is who they really are. This is exactly who they are. So,
Travis, you can't be a part of the Democrat Party in any shape, manner, or form
the Democrat Party
and not be
has
demonic.
to be completely eliminated now.
They have to be.
It's time for, and you can't do this, can't go without going. Listen, so just listen to the cackle, the witch-like demonic cackle in these people's celebratory nature of all this. Just hear this out.
We're going to push it. We're going to see how far we can push it. I was not kidding when I said, if you were going to get the job done, there were two better candidates. And furthermore, when that happens, and it will, it will, not only will we be insensitive, that'll be the least of your worries. it's gonna be the biggest fucking celebration, the biggest, most beautiful celebration on planet Earth. On planet Earth right now. The entire planet is gonna celebrate when he takes a turn. Finally.
That sounded like a Wizard of Oz skit, like the Wicked Witch of the West. Yeah, we're all seeing it. I don't have any fucking sympathy for people getting fired over this stuff. If I saw a video like that of one of my employees doing that, no. So this talk about trying to seek unity in the midst, there is no unifying with this, guys. You can't unify with that. Not to mention the complete denial of reality. Okay, the left, since the shooting, tried to call him MAGA. Jimmy Kimmel just got fired over his network because he got on there and said, "What are MAGA? It's been a dark weekend for MAGA. What are they going to do now that they find out the shooter is one of their own?" I said this right after everything happened. They're going to double down. They can't take accountability for the rhetoric for 10 years of Nazi, of Hitler, of all this. I just showed in the beginning of the show a local business owner that was accused of intentionally not serving Black communities because it was out of her scope of region of work. You know, she can only service certain locations, but she's a racist now because she got reached out and they can't service that location.
Obviously.
How you can't reconcile with people that have that disposition. They made up their minds already about you. So the at the same time though, keep going.
That's what
Keep going. Keep doing it. Keep putting these fucking videos out. Keep showing what you are. That's a good comment. I hope they keep on showing their true colors. I don't think they'll ever win again unless they steal it. Well, we know they'll steal it. But I think this is a different.
Isn't about winning and losing. This is about
this is
surviving.
This is about
surviving.
You have to dismantle the entire party. You have to crush it completely.
I think you have to
and really, the biggest battle, these you got to get your kids out of school, guys.
Oh.
These are teachers doing this. These are weird, stinky ass cat ladies. These are women out there that are telling their 3-year-old who picked up a doll and now they got to get their wiener chopped off. They got their ability to procreate because they got a wacky ass mother who wants to turn them into a female. The most evil thing to do to these kids and to people in general is tell them that they are not okay as they are. They are not as God made you. You are not perfect in the image of God as you were created. You think you're something else? Well, you're going to be somebody else, honey. That is fucking evil. That is antichrist behavior, is teaching and telling somebody they're not okay with who they are, because that is the truth. You are okay with who you are. Who you are and how you were born is exactly how it's meant to be, and you should embrace that. You should be happy with that. And then you got this is a good verse here. If you didn't believe in God before, you should absolutely believe in the devil after seeing those 2 clips. It's real. The laugh, the demonic. I mean, these people are not okay. Okay. There's something deeply wrong here.
They're killing us.
And I don't think this is the last event we're going to see like this.
No, they're just getting warmed up. I mark my word. They're just getting warmed
when
up.
we get, you know, before when we were talking about arrests, and we want to see him, Trump has a very unique opportunity to actually get some shit done here. These people that are funding these groups, those mysterious pallets of concrete bricks showing up during the riots,
gas masks.
the bailouts of
Yes.
these felonious activities,
Yes.
who paid for them, what groups are involved, what groups are involved in funding this radicalized ideology on campuses. And I hope all the young crowd, because really the young crowd is going to be a big part of the solution to this. This is the time, yeah, start throwing up statues on these campuses of Charlie Kirk. They got one of Alfred fucking Kinsey. Time to put a Charlie Kirk statue up there. If they come try to destroy your vigils, they try to encroach on you, and we've been just so blasé about it. Stop. Stop. Get smarter about what you're doing. Quit taking this feminine approach to protecting yourself. And get out there. Get out there and let them expose who they are. And if they want to get comfortable to get in your space, make it real uncomfortable real quick for them. Because let me tell you something. Some of the stuff I've seen out there on these campuses, you get in my face that close like that, you get in Mark's face that close like that, we don't scream. We don't yell. We don't say a word. You don't have to. When you know the consequences that are really at hand for this, because let me tell you something. I think the left is learning now, if the right starts playing their games, they will fucking lose real quick. They thought they had a absolute monopoly on getting people to lose their jobs, pulling advertisers. Tucker Carlson's kicked off the air. I don't see AOC's crying for Jimmy Kimmel. Was she crying for Tucker Carlson? What do you think, Mark? You think she was crying for Tucker Carlson?
No. How about Roseanne Barr? How about we could go down the list of people who have been silenced, who have been canceled, who have been oh.
Okay. Now, here, take a look at this, folks. We're going to end the show on some of this. This is the scene of the crime. They are rapidly covering it with concrete. They removed all the grass.
What is that?
I don't know what the hell that is, but that is right around where Charlie was sitting. I don't know what to make of that, guys, but definitely weird, or it could not be. You know, I don't know, but contractors on site. That seems like okay. But here's where things got interesting last night when I was looking at this stuff. This was breaking yesterday. Candace Owens releases an unseen photo of Tyler Robinson at a Dairy Queen in Orem at 6:38 p.m. after the shooting. He is seen unbothered, calm, in a maroon shirt, blue jeans, hat, and sunglasses.
What in the world?
That is him, guys.
Okay, but how do we know that is? I mean,
she didn't well, okay, that's one thing we got to verify. I know. So this is look, you got to be careful with this stuff here. But that clearly, that's him, guys. That looks exactly like him. Okay. I don't know what to make of that. So let's go back to the timeline real quick. Let me see, 6:38 p.m. So you got to add that to the timeline. Let's see. Let's go back to the timeline. 8:29. Hang on, folks. I'm just trying to. Yeah, so. Okay, so the photos weren't released at that time, but apparently that's taken the day of. And this is right around when Patel was saying they caught the guy and then they were released. So that's not in the official authorities timeline. And look, Candace she's got some pretty good reporting. There's also been some things in the past that kind of questionable on different things, but that's a pretty clear photo. I'm not really understanding how that got to Candace or why the FBI didn't release that photo. Interesting. At a Dairy Queen, just I don't know. I don't know what to make of that, Mark. I really don't.
There's so many different. Yeah.
And
Listen,
COINTELPRO, by the way, folks, is a real thing. If there is something that's trying to be covered up, you're going to get a bunch of wacky stuff out there that's going to be leaked to journalists, leaked to influencers, and then
next thing you know, you're believing in flat Earth.
Next thing
You gotta
it's a guy with a cell phone gun that the CIA developed in 2009 and is shooting from over. No, folks.
No, just be.
So the autopsy report, that's what I'm looking forward to, as well as September 29th. Tune into the Defiance Daily Show. We'll cover live the hearing to see how he pleads.
Hey, what's going on tonight? What did
well, and listen to this too, by the way. When we were talking about the left and the kind of the disposition that they have. TPSA started, by the way, they formally voted Charlie Kirk's wife to be the CEO and chair of the board. So bravo to them on doing that. So the work continues, but they have been flooded with requests for new chapters. I mean, flooded. It's tens of thousands. These high schools are starting to do it. Listen to this story. Some grown adults in Texas decided to respond to the assassination of Charlie by infiltrating group chats of kids who were moved to start new Turning Point chapters, doxing them and threatening any teacher who dared to sponsor a new chapter. Parents are now infiltrating kids groups that want to start these chapters and causing all kinds of hell. Are we just going to fucking sit there and take this shit now?
Take your kids out
Stratford
of school.
high school teens forming a TPUSA Club America were doxxed by adults sharing students' internal GroupMe content in a Be the Change private Facebook group, urging 730 members operating in secrecy to also intimidate teacher sponsors.
Where are the fathers?
These people are fucking sick.
You know who's worse than that? You know who's worse than the ones doing this? The fathers of the students who are being doxxed and not handling these animals that are doxing their own kids. I promise you, if I was retarded enough to have maybe I wouldn't. If I was retarded enough to have my kids in public school, I don't know what I would do or wouldn't do. If somebody was doxing one of my kids, if an adult individual was doxing one of my kids in any way to try to harm them, I assure you that person would disappear. I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm not threatening, bragging, trying to be. Well, I promise you, within 48
kids,
hours, that adult would be gone.
I want to see consequences there for that one for sure.
They need to be.
We need to, guys. Listen.
Where are the men? Where are the fathers?
It used to be we talked about this and then we just kind of shrug it off. That time's done now. You've got to react now.
And you can't rely on law enforcement. Law enforcement is not designed to deal with stuff like that.
You're talking about, you can't just let people keep getting away with doing this shit. You just can't do it.
Where are the fathers?
Can't do it.
Where are the men? Where are the men? Men do not allow things like that.
People should be terrified in this country of doxing your kid.
Your kid? Where are the fathers?
Like you should be, if you're sitting there, if there's these, because I always picture it's the moms in there. Oh, we can't allow these chapters to happen. There should be, are we really going to do this?
We're in Texas.
We're in Texas.
There's armed men in Texas.
What do we
that will not allow this?
There is no hesitation. Why?
Because
why?
Because we're a country.
These people don't fear any fucking consequences.
They don't fear.
That has been, and look, you want any tall tale signs of no consequence from this type of stuff happening, just watch the GOP.
Oh, they're already.
Watch
Travis.
the pussies in Congress, at the head of the DOJ, at the Senate.
Look at Ilhan Omar. The Congress,
they are.
They were going to get rid of Ilhan Omar, and guess who stepped in and
The
saved her?
GOP saved the day.
Republican congressman.
Why? Can't let your foot off the gas now. Can't let your foot off the gas now. Full tilt. This is in, I think the left is kind of counting on, give it a couple weeks and this will get out of the news. This ain't the same. This ain't Trump getting hit in the ear and 3 people dying, by the way. People forget. People actually died in Butler, all right? They actually killed conservatives there. But they got Charlie. This is different now. This is different. And folks, for those of us who watch those videos, and then now because of what I do, I'm trying to be as responsible as possible and come on this broadcast and give you good information, which required me to sit down and have to rewatch him getting brutally murdered from different angles from a bunch of fucking retards on X, coming out with all these different theories on it. All it's doing is just muddying the water, and that is by design. There's also clicks. There's also ego involved in this kind of shit. Just be careful out there, all right? So I'm going to do my very best. We'll put some videos together of. Here's what I want. And usually, before we started this show, I used to have these kind of, man, you know what I'd like to see? What I want to see and what I'm going to work on creating is the full surveillance that we have. Everything. I'm going to consolidate it to the best of my ability into a timeline that we were told, and let's watch it together. Let's go through it together and see what we can make of it. But let me tell you something. People on the left believe it's justifiable to kill you because you're a Nazi. For a decade plus now, longer than that, the country's racist. It's irreversible. It's got to go. People that support it, you're equivalent to a SS officer, so no sympathy for you if you get killed. This is I think people now that we're kind of on the fence, maybe you're a Republican or an independent, how do you look at this and go, damn, we got some serious. This isn't a voting issue now. This is Mao's little red book carriers. That's what it is. These people will drag you in the street. They'll celebrate on your grave and they'll spit in your widow's face.
They'll
when they
murder
kill
your
you.
children.
They'll kill your children.
They'll cut their throats.
And we saw some of that. That's right. That's another thing I'll put together for us. I'm going to consolidate some of the most vile. I don't even want to do that, but it's got to be done. You got to see it. I have to watch it. I don't want to watch it, but I have to. So you'll see it. There were people who were absolutely calling for exactly what Mark said. Someone got fired from their job because they said the whole bloodline has to get wiped out. These people are genocidal fucking freaks. And they look at you not like a human. They have completely demonized an entire swath of this country. And it's a majority of people that vote this way. They vote for the left.
And look like us.
They want your kids exposed to the most ungodly, Satanist practiced evil. And it used to be, the left, the whole transgender stuff. Well, it costs lives when you don't affirm them, or it's like this humane ordeal. No, it's fucking not. It's not humane to tell a schizophrenic that, on the top of that freeway, there is that monster. Go and get it. Would you do that to a schizophrenic person? There's sick people out there, and we're getting sicker by the generation. And we're heavily medicated. We're heavily desensitized. There is a plan behind this, folks. There is a reason for this. All right. You can't just look at this and say it's by accident or it's by greed. One of the most irritating one. Oh, it's for the money. The money's always a part of it. That ain't the main intention here. The long-term game is to get in line. In the line. And when there's no cohesion among your population, you can conquer the ever-loving shit out of them. Okay? So Jimmy Kimmel getting cut off the air for absolutely lying had nothing to do with the FCC chairman and his conversation with Benny Johnson. Bad timing, bad optics. Yeah, if you listen to mainstream conservatives like Ben Shapiro, yeah, whatever. Well, the full statement came released there, and I don't want to spend time on talking about Jimmy Kimmel. He wasn't even funny. 200,000 viewers at best during a primetime slide. It's just a propagandist. That's literally all he was. He used to be funny. But that's where we are, folks. So just you got to be more diligent, and we have to understand the nature and the actual reality of what we're in, which is a half of the country, if you're a conservative or if you think anywhere near that, or if you're to the right of Hillary Clinton in any kind of way, you're a Nazi. You're a white supremacist. And that's, I literally was reading articles last night, and they're from these junk media outlets, but they are referring to him as a white supremacist, folks. Charlie Kirk was a great man. He's going to be deeply missed. And let me tell you something else. This is something else I was having a conversation with. And Scott Adams even touched on this. You know, because there's a lot of people they want to, hey, let's go shoot some, let's go do this. What leader on that side is even worth doing that for? Do they have anybody like Charlie Kirk? Who does the left have? Do they have anybody like Charlie Kirk? They don't have anything fucking close. Chuck Schumer, I don't want him to stop speaking. Don't go do anything stupid like that. AOC, please God, no. I want her to run for president. They don't have anybody. They are losers on that side of it. But make no mistake, these parents that are doxing your kids, now I'm talking about something totally different. Read between the lines of what I'm saying. Okay. Can't put up with this stuff.
Can't allow it.
Can't allow it.
You can't call the
You
cops.
have to
Cops
make
can't
it.
do anything.
You have to make it impossible. You have to make. There needs to be hesitation. They're too emboldened to do that to people's kids over a political group at a high school. These parents are losers.
It's like remember the Philadelphia Karen, the ball game where she went over and took the ball.
Oh yeah.
From the husband from
Oh,
the
did you see?
father.
Oh.
That
Give me that fucking baseball, bitch.
She is not the problem.
He should have backhanded.
He is the problem.
When
She's not the problem.
She even got the baseball, by the way, and she still had that mug on her face. She probably wanted them to get hurt after, and he just gave it to her. That was on his son's birthday.
She exists because of him. She exists because of him. Evil exists because of him. It exists because of weak, feminine males. That's why. That is the problem.
Yeah, listen, don't give the baseball back.
No, you
don't let your kids get doxxed.
You firmly tell her
make the repercussions so severe that it makes people second guess about fucking with people like this.
I would have kicked the ever living shit out of her. Personally, you get in my face, and I don't know you. I don't care I don't care what you look like. I don't care who you are. You come at me and get in my personal space. I promise you,
man,
the least you're going to get is going to get the ever living shit kicked out of you.
But that is a normal reaction.
No, I know you're not saying this, but that guy, when he does this, I'm like, oh my God, we're done as a culture.
This was 3 hours ago. This is from Colin Rugg. This is to memorialize or bring a resolution to honor Charlie Kirk's life. She says it's going to bring great pain to millions of Americans. Fuck you, man.
This
is AOC. She and 57 other House Democrats voted against a simple resolution to honor his life. I'm telling you, folks, they cannot. They can't give any humanity to him. They can't do it with Trump.
We can fix it.
And make no mistakes, you're already seeing it with the Van Jones crowd. It's somehow Trump's fault. Do you get it now? Do you get it now? Justifying this shit.
Short ropes, tall trees.
And they're talking about, all these people celebrating Trump getting suspended from Twitter. And why are we listening to lectures and moral posturing from the left on anything to do with the overreach of power? Give me a fucking break. These people were celebrating Tucker Carlson, Trump getting arrested, the phony charges, everything in between. I just and then this Dairy Queen picture is really throwing me for a loop. So I want to see this get addressed. I want to know if anybody's asking if there's
How do we
What
verify
the
the
hell
time
is
and
this?
date? How do we
Okay,
verify the time
see,
and
this
date?
is the weird stuff that's going around. This man was spotted wearing a law enforcement badge at the crime scene of Charlie Kirk's assassination. The second he noticed a camera, he tore it off and hid it. In Utah, impersonating an officer, even just displaying a badge without authority, is a crime. If he was law enforcement, why would he behave like this? It is interesting. Let's take a look. Yeah, we can all. That's odd. I mean, it's certainly odd when you notice the camera, but I don't know. He could have took it out. He could have just been wearing it for funsies or something, and then he doesn't want to get charged with impersonating.
Impersonating a cop is an old. That goes way back for lots of different reasons. Same reasons people will, put on a military uniform. I mean, it's who knows. But we just need to know when was this photo taken, date, time, and
Yeah.
location. Because
Original source of this photo, it was taken not 17 minutes after the shooting, but at 6:38.
but how do we
p.m.
verify
location,
that? I know that's
17
what it says
minutes.
on there, but
Well, the person that submitted it. So this is someone that works at the Dairy Queen that sent it.
okay, we need to verify that.
Yeah, we need to verify
It has to be verified. I mean,
Oh, and apparently that's like what and again, that was just yesterday on her show. She got that tip and she said she's vetting it out. So we'll see exactly what timeline that puts it in, or if this is somebody who took a picture days before. I don't know. We just don't know. And then you got I know Jake Shields is a real popular guy on the right. He's a little out there for my taste, but acoustics reports are now showing it was 70 feet away. I don't know what to think of this, guys. I really don't know.
this is what happens when you
And this was the clip that I was talking about in the aftermath. This I thought was interesting. Take a listen.
Important organization. There's a question about who's going to lead the team going forward and who's going to lead this enormously important organization. And I understand you have some news on that front.
Yeah. Since everything has happened, I think the number one question is what is going to happen with Turning Point? What is going to happen next? And I'm pleased to be able to announce with you, and I think it's appropriate because of who you are and who this person is, that the Turning Point board has unanimously selected Erica Kirk as the new CEO and chair of the board. And not only is that amazing in and of itself, but I can assure you, Megan, that Charlie told me personally, and he told others, he probably told Mikey, that if anything ever happened to him, that this is exactly what he wanted.
Wow. I have the chills. It had to be, right? I mean, I don't think anybody would accept a leader of the organization who they didn't feel completely understood Charlie and would be 100% dedicated to fulfilling his vision for where this group is going.
Well, and let me just add one more thing, and I want Mikey to chime in here as well. But in the immediate hours afterwards, Erica got a call from somebody very important. I'll leave that vague out of privacy, but she got a call from somebody very important. And the question was, what do you know? Sort of asking how much of what's going on behind the scenes and with the relationship, like, what do you know? And her reply back was, everything.
Oh.
I know everything.
That's interesting.
That's
really interesting. So
really
I
kind of
man, that gave me a little goosebumps too. I'm not gonna lie, at least on that latter part of it, because
that could mean so many.
that it could. But look, we know that the left is celebrating this. We know this is a left wing inspired terror cell at a minimum involved in the shooting. We can speculate on the shooter and who was involved, and I know people want to blame Israel and people want to blame MAGA and all this stuff. I think the left celebrating is really enough on its own to just, I mean, outside of the evidence, that's clearly, I don't remember having a conservative buddy. I don't remember you being into furries or having a gay roommate or, you know,
Do you remember when we were warning people about this? We've been talking about this since the show
we
started.
we honestly,
people-
dude, we need to go back
And
because we
people
were
were saying,
talking about this for a
that
while.
ain't doing it. Yeah, they are.
Overreact. We're too paranoid,
And these are in schools and school districts out in the country, out in places where I love it when parents go, well, my kid goes to a good public school. No, your kid doesn't. And you're a bad parent. And you just need to come to terms with reality on that. You guys need to get your kids out of school. Because this is going on. This is where it's coming from. None of this happens.
People forget about Jimmy Kimmel's skits.
I mean, do you think that she's attractive or not? Gotcha. I mean, do you think that she's
Hilarious. So funny.
Well, I mean,
It's kind of funny.
it's kind of funny, but I mean, is he is he? I mean, he's on the left, right?
I mean, that's man, and you still got, I mean, there is some interesting angles I will say on the
man,
Israel
it's stuff.
There is.
This
This is Harrison Smith. I don't know who needs to hear this again, but the person who blamed Charlie Kirk's murder on Israel was Charlie Kirk. Yeah, and that was apparently he was told by someone close to Charlie Kirk that Charlie Kirk thinks Israel will kill him if he turns against them. And towards the end,
he was
questioning October.
He was
questioning a lot of stuff.
Go back and watch the
He
interview on
pissed
PBD.
a lot of people off because he was
really
all
did.
in Trump's ear about not bombing Iran.
Yes.
Apparently that fucked people up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. But we are missing a huge piece of this. I think that's very clear.
You and I are very much on the same page on this. Where are you, if you don't mind me speaking for you, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I do think we have a lot of questions, and there's just a lot of stuff that's weird. We may not have the answers to a lot of this stuff, but
it's weird.
Yeah,
it is.
It's weird. There is a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, it's to say the least, guys. So I'm committed to, because Charlie, man, he really practiced what he preached. Is a very light way to put it. This guy lived. He really his you want to talk about someone with a purpose. It makes me want to be better. It makes me want to be a better husband. It makes me want to be better focused. It just makes me want to do better for everybody that depends on me and that's around me, and for folks that listen to us. So that's what I'm, if there's anything to take away from Charlie, it's, we could all do more to be like Charlie. We could.
Would the world be a better place if all of us just got 1 degree going in a better direction, like Charlie? If Charlie was the example, and we said, okay,
even just one piece,
just
absolutely.
I mean, would this country be a better place if every man said, you know what, I just want to improve this part of my life just 1 degree more, like Charlie's example? Would America be a better place?
The world would be. I mean, there's just
I'm not deifying Charlie. Obviously, he would say,
No,
"Hey,
but
we need
he's
to be more Christ-like." But he did set an example.
he did set an example. It's just I still I it's I'm just still I still can't believe this is what we're sitting up here talking about.
I know.
You know,
I
this
know.
is it's
I
so
know.
wild. I don't want to end the show. I mean, I want to dig with everybody live. Let's go. Come on. Let's open up comments. Let's open if I didn't have I just realized I'm okay, we do have to end the show. But this is what I want to do. You know, I'd like to be able to get on a broadcast. We just in real time. Let's just go scour. You know, y'all send us your thoughts, you send us your comments, and we go and we look at it in real time and just see what we make of it. I haven't explored that angle completely yet. I did hear about all the controversy around Candace Owens' broadcast, where everybody was saying she blamed Israel. I went and watched it.
I
She made a
watched it
very
too.
clarifying statement in there that saying she was not. But the fact that Bibi Netanyahu definitely got up there and lied about it, and that's been corroborated. So there's some truth that Charlie pissed off some big time Israeli donors. And I know there's some back and forth with who they are and what the account is, but all the people that I know are like Jack Posobiec and these people that were in the vicinity of Charlie Kirk, you know, there's a lot of truth to it. So we'll look into it. We'll see how far it can go. It's definitely weird. I was seeing as we're live on the show, Netanyahu's putting out more videos about how he's not responsible. But then again, if you're blamed by hundreds of millions of people, I mean, yeah, you're going to go out there and do that. I don't think he's doing himself any favors by doing it, but definitely coming out and talking about this letter that was nothing.
Yeah, man.
That was nothing like what was actually conveyed in it.
Exactly. It's weird,
But
dude.
that call
It's
that
weird.
that Erica got, and she was asked, now why would she think it's important for someone close to her to relay that out there? She was asked, "What do you know? All this behind the scenes stuff," and she just says everything. What does that mean? So I'm sure we'll find out more as the time comes. But you are watching the Defiance Daily Show. I really appreciate everybody tuning in. Had a nice big audience today, but a lot of questions. You know, so we are a lot of the show. We are going to focus on this. I know there's a bunch of other news. We saw Pam Bondi talking about hate speech now in the name of Charlie Kirk. I don't really want to cover her too much, other than the fact that she just needs to go. I think it's time for Trump. I mean, we tried her out. She hasn't accomplished anything so far. She absolutely bumbled the
The whole
binder, the Epstein
oh,
binder
God.
charade. What an embarrassment and the contradictions. And now going after coffee shops in San Diego and just that we need someone serious in that position. And matter of fact, y'all remember who was initially primed for that role? Who was it?
Who? I'm trying to...
Matt Gates.
That's right.
If Matt Gates was in there right now,
Oh,
let me tell you, folks,
man,
we screwed that. That was a.
That was a.
So we were all looking at these different positions, and I didn't really think about it until last night. That was probably the most important one. The DOJ, the head cop, top law. And they pushed Matt Gates out. Man.
And nobody pushed back on Pam Bondi. None of the Democrats.
Nobody. No, especially the GOP.
Yeah.
Could have had Matt Gates in there.
Oh.
Something tells me we'd be a lot further along. And the Epstein stuff, yes, it gets weirder by the week, but folks, that stuff's gone.
It's gone.
Before the FBI even did those raids, I remember watching that in real time. There was computer equipment, all this stuff already missing. Folks, and if it's not if it's an ongoing operation, I think there's a good argument to be made that it is still continuing. And that's why we're seeing all this stuff happen.
I agree.
So anyway, we'll be back next week to cover more. We'll put some videos. We got some content together. We got some help coming in here. So we're going to be expanding the content. We're going to try to be better. You know, we're going to try to be better. And you can't let something like this, like the death of somebody so innocent. You know, that's the other part, the symbology around killing someone like Kirk, who's just godly to the nth degree. It's like it's almost like killing Bambi. It's a very evil message. It's like and I'm trying not to deify him either, so I'm trying to be very selective how I'm talking about it here, but what's more demonic than killing one of the Lord's most ardent followers? I guess that's the way I could put it. What's more demonic than that? Than killing one of there's an actual servant of the Lord. No doubt about it. Man, we are in some serious times here, folks. So with that being said, none of that's possible without your support. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. Don't forget to check out defiancepress.com. Go support our authors, purchase the books, and in turn, it supports everything here at the broadcast. And we do need some we need to expand. We need more people here that we have to staff out. We've got to create more content, and I got to get better for everybody around me, including Mark and the team here and for the audience that listens. So support us. Please support us. Defiancepress.com. Go ahead and hit the hour books and go through and scroll and see some of the new releases and everything that's coming out. None of this is possible without your support. And of course, none of this would have kicked off without the man, the myth, the legend. And that's my dad, David Thomas Roberts. I love you, Dad, so much. This is a incredible time that we're living in. And I just can only imagine the influence that my dad would have had here in
Amen.
the world. So his presence is always felt. And
Yep.
we stream the show live out of his office. I miss him every day. I love him dearly. And that's another part to this too, is I try to be better for him, be better for my mom, and be better for my family. So Mark, with that said, let's bid him adieu.
Bid you guys adieu. Stay armed. Stay vigilant. Eternal vigilance.
Stay armed, stay vigilant, and stay reliable, stay
reliable.
dependable.
Get better.
Watch your ass, and don't be afraid to be aggressive.
Don't be
Do the right thing and know that God's at your side. God bless you all.
God
Have a
bless
great
y'all.
weekend.